Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you folks so much for joining us on another wonderful, wonderful edition of Crime and Sports. We're excited this week, kind of as always.
Yeah.
I mean, the last few weeks have been fun. We had Oscar Pistorius. We had Derek Coleman. We've had some interesting stuff. We're going to go out of the country again this week.
All right.
Back to the southern hemisphere, but on a different continent.
Okay.
We're going to South America this week.
Beautiful.
It's a South American soccer player, which
All
we've
right.
had good luck with those in the past as far as crazy-ass episodes go. See Bruno Fernandes there, and you will understand that.
Is he back in jail? I think
Bruno,
he is.
I think he is, yeah. I think they keep bringing him back. He keeps getting out and then getting put back in for some reason. I don't know what the hell they're doing with
They
that guy.
bring him out and they're like, are you guys ready for him yet? And then everybody's like, boo!
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
not
you're
yet.
right.
Not
Yeah.
yet. But he's good, you guys, I swear.
He's a good goalie.
By the time
nothing
they-
gets by him.
By the time they bring him back and everybody's okay with it, he's going to be past his prime.
Oh, he's got to be pushing it now at this point. Like this guy we're going to talk about today. But before we get to that, very quickly, hope you have been enjoying the shows. If so, I hope you went on Apple Podcast, that purple icon, and reviewed the show because that helps a lot. Why? We have no goddamn idea why. That's just Apple and their funky algorithm. That's how it works there. So if you haven't yet, please give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. You can say what? Anything. Tell me what your favorite flavor of slushy is.
Oh.
I would like to hear that.
Is it blue raspberry, James? Is that the,
Not me.
Is that the right answer?
I mean, any answer is the right
Good
answer.
answer.
That's the thing. That's a pretty good anser. It's going to stay in your mouth, but other than that, it's a
Yeah.
pretty goddamn good thing. So try that out.
Don't drink the lime one. Then
No.
everybody knows that your favorite flavor is lime because they see the green in your
That
mouth.
looks like you
and
blew a
that's-
goblin. You
that's
don't want
gross.
that. So no good there. No good.
Everybody knows you suck.
You suck. Not going to work out there. So otherwise, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports related. Listen to Small Town Murder if you haven't been lately, because wow, is it wild lately. We have had some, I say this like they're given to us from the sky. We've picked some crazy ass cases lately. There's really some wild stuff. Illinois a few weeks ago is one in specific you want to check out there.
Lord.
So, and then the other one with the shot glasses.
Yeah.
You'll know what I mean if you check out the show.
a
So
lot.
check all that out. Do that. Also listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie on Fridays. We just did Splash this week, which was awesome.
Did you enjoy it?
I love Splash, so yeah, of course I did. But in the end, Tom Hanks is a fish, so he chose to be a fish.
Is that how it ended?
It ended with him being a fish, which
Stop that.
I swear to God, you don't remember that. No one does. In the end, he happily swims through the Hudson River into the Atlantic with Daryl Hannah as a fish man now, but with no fins or anything. He's still got dress shoes on, for Christ's
What
sake.
the fuck?
Long story. So anyway, you can listen to us talk about
Why
that.
was that so popular?
Because the rest of it's hilarious.
Is that
That's
real?
why. It's real. I swear to God. Him and John Candy are a great comedic duo, and then he turns into a fish. And so
boy.
luckily it's right at the end of the movie, so it's not like, he's a fucking fish now.
That's why
Like
we don't know.
credits for playing as he's a fish. It's fine. So it works out.
Sneak this past you with
There you go.
The key grip's name.
That's it. Smiling, looking at coral and shit. It's super
Really?
weird. Oh, yeah.
Why don't I remember that?
Healthy coral on the bottom of the Hudson. Nope.
Those
No.
are shit stalagmites.
No Lucchese family members fucking sprinkling the place. No corpses.
Guns or
No.
crowbars or anything?
Nothing. Just
fucking
it's
coral.
beautiful down
Yeah.
there. Tropical fish. It's crazy. You got to see it. It's wild. It's fucking amazing. It's beautiful. course, he loved it.
What?
So listen to that, because I got a lot more to say about that shit, as you might imagine there. Also, if you want to be a hero to the show, you can do that, and a producer, and you'll get things too. This is for you. First of all, Jimmie's going to butcher your name at the end of the show. Absolutely butcher. Whether you do Patreon or PayPal, you get a butchering.
You betcha.
But if you're a Patreon member above the $5 level, you'll also get access to tons of bonus stuff. So much bonus. All the crime and sports and small town murder bonus stuff. All that for $5. This last one we just did was the Minnesota Vikings love boat sex scandal, which was pretty gross and funny. So check that out. And do that. You can do all of that over at patreon.com/crimeandsports. And if you just want to make a PayPal donation to get your name butchered by Jimmie, you can do that as well over at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. That said, let's get to this, Jimmie.
Right.
Let's do it. We're going to Brazil, another Brazilian soccer player. Here we go. Robson de Souza. Okay.
No relation.
No, everybody's de Souza. It's
I
don't know. Yeah, not everybody, but it's a... They don't even use the de Souza part. It's weird. Yeah, like Bruno Fernandes, they just call him Bruno Fernandes. Like the de Souza's like an extra.
This guy?
I don't get it. So Robson de Souza, it doesn't matter because no one calls him that anyway. They all call him by his nickname, which is a common nickname. I don't know what it means, but it seems to be common, as we'll find out. Robinho.
Oh, close enough.
Robinho, which is, it's Robin Ho, is how it's spelled. Robinho. Robinho. So we got Robinho here. He's a pretty famous soccer player. He was supposed to be the next Pele.
Really?
That was his big, even Pele said he's the next Pele.
Okay.
So it was a big deal, and then we'll find out what happened to him, because it didn't quite work out.
Okay.
That's why he's here.
Yeah.
Obviously. You heard the Pele episode?
No.
No. You know why? Didn't fucking do one.
Because it worked out for him.
Because it worked out great for him. That's why.
He's the most famous soccer player ever.
Everyone knows who he is. Kids now know who Pele was.
Right.
Like, Pele didn't play when I was a kid, and I knew who the fuck he was, and I didn't know shit about soccer or anything like that. And
anytime anybody kicked a ball, there was, look at Pele.
Yeah, it was just, that's who it was. The only soccer player anyone ever knew. So here he is, everybody.
And then that sexy guy with the tattoos that married the Old Spice Girl.
Yeah, him now. He's the other guy. Yeah, the David Beckham.
That's him.
Yeah. He actually, Robinho says he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Loved David Beckham.
Really?
Said he was the most down-to-earth person he's ever played with.
I'm sure.
Which is what you say about the most famous person you've ever played with. He's just the most down to earth.
Yeah.
I love that when people try to
talk about how humble that guy is.
Like whenever somebody knows a celebrity or met a big celebrity, they always have to talk about they're just such a regular person. Like,
what do you expect him to do?
What do you expect him to do? Fucking
gold bullion?
Slap you in the face and throw fucking 2 C notes at you as you fucking writhed on the floor. And call you a peasant and walk away. Of course they were like, guy, nice to meet you.
Chronic masturbator. Just
it's
in
weird.
The middle of conversation.
It was strange.
Chugs it.
It was odd because we were at a benefit for children, so it was very strange. Not a place you'd get right out of the tux.
Yeah.
Unzip the tux pants and there it comes.
Said he was going to fix a crack in a cast. I don't know.
He was staring at this ice sculpture. I think he's into weird shit. Let's just say that.
Nobody ever says that.
He's looking at it hard, just jerking it.
It's always the nicest guy I ever met.
No, nicest guy I ever met. This has got a stroke like nobody's business. You should see it. It's beautiful.
Listen,
long and true.
I met Charlie Murphy, meanest man I've ever met. Sweetheart to me.
Yeah,
fucking hates all kinds of people.
Oh,
he was willing to tell you about it.
Oh, yeah, I met a lot of people like that. Yeah,
because that's who I like.
That's
Angry
exactly
people.
right. Yeah. Well, that's why you're sitting here next to me. I think you just kind of described me.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny. So, except I'm not Eddie Murphy's brother, unfortunately for me. So, date of birth here on Robinho is January 25th, 1984. So he's still out there, still reasonably young, only 36 years old. Yeah. He's born in São Vicente, Brazil. Now, this is a little history of that here. It's named after the patron saint of Lisbon, Portugal, because the Portuguese came here, and this was about 355,000 people here, so it's a decent settlement near the water. It was the first permanent Portuguese settlement in South America.
Really?
So, yeah, why? It's weird, because you'll hear Brazilian people, and you're like, well, that's not Spanish.
Yeah.
You're like, that's Portuguese. And you're like, what the fuck?
Why?
Isn't Portugal over there?
You're right.
That's when I was a kid, I thought, just, little kid, I always thought Portugal was in South America because they speak Portuguese all over South America, but turns out it's just a tiny little fucking country attached to Spain that somehow an entire continent fucking speaks their language, basically. It's crazy shit. Yeah. Very weird.
And that's from Portugal explorers.
Yeah, they were the colony, basically, or the colonizers here. So they were the first there, and they established things here, and this is, where Sao Paulo is as well, kind of near there. So it was established as a village in 1532.
My Christ.
So by Martim Afonso de Souza. So everybody is fucking de Souza. And that was on a port known as Porto de Escravos.
Yeah.
That sounds nice, doesn't it?
Beautiful.
Well, it translates to Port of Slaves.
Gross.
So not exactly as beautiful as it sounds.
That doesn't sound like fish tacos anymore.
No, let's keep that in Portuguese. Yeah, it sounds like I'll have the Porto dos Escravos, please. Yeah, the plate. No, with the beans and everything. Yeah, I want it all.
Combo plate.
The combo.
I'll take
Put
it.
the platter and one of those Mexican Cokes
Port
as well.
of Slaves.
Yeah. No, I don't have a bottle opener, so pop it for me. Yeah, definitely. Oh shit, Port of Slave. I'm going to change my order. I'll have the number 4.
Got anything that doesn't sound as beautiful?
Just a fish taco, maybe. Something that's got a simple name.
You got anything called an enchilado?
Is that something?
Right up my alley.
I don't think anybody... There's no blood on an enchilado, I doubt. So... No blood attached to that name. So, yeah.
There's a Band-Aid in it.
There's something. That's an enchilado. You expect that to be expected.
Right.
But you don't have to think about the fact that...
It's not, the worst thing in fucking world history.
Yeah. Looking down at it. Whatever you're reading.
Can I have the mistreatment of people, please?
Please, can I have the genocide of an entire populace? Is that an option there? No, the platter. The platter. Still, the platter. I still want the rice. Yeah. Fucking Jesus Christ. No, I don't want the Porto Escravazos anymore, but I will have the rice with the other platter, please. So this that's fucking terrible.
I love it.
No, well, I just not trivializing that. It's just it sounded so nice, and I'm like, if I say this, Jimmy's going to go, "That sounds beautiful," and then I'm going to tell him what it is, and he's going to feel terrible about himself.
I'll have a Modelo with that.
Yeah, and a Modelo. And your face was exactly what I thought it was. You went,
no.
Like all the joy drained from your face. You're like, oh, well, that's not happy. That's terrible.
English is so much uglier.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Like that. Shit. Damn it. So this was operated by 3 Portuguese colonists who trafficked in slaves captured by allied tribes. So they'd pay people to, round Jesus Christ. So, it's titled the São Vicente is titled Célula Mater, which is mother cell, apparently, of Brazil for being the first organized town in the country. Okay. So it's kind of where, I guess, modern civilized towns kind of started there here. Yeah, 1532, they had a city council, which was the first in all of the Americas, North and South, to have a democratically elected council there. So that's interesting anyway. A battle took place here in 1583. I know that this is weird to do with history here, but this shit's kind of interesting, honestly. 3 English warships attempting to trade with the Portuguese were attacked by 3 Spanish galleons, which sounds like it must have been fucking awesome to watch. So they had a big ship battle.
Sword slapping fucking iron.
Cannons and shit.
So rad.
Yosemite Sam is blowing up his own powder room. That's what he did all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, the Spanish ships were repelled and one of their galleons was sunk. So, pretty interesting shit. So anyway, his mom, Robinho's mom here, the de Souza family on his mother's side here is descended from slaves, actually, in this, region. And her mother, actually, this is fucking crazy, and I can't believe this happened at this point in time. His mother is, I think she's late 50s right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, she's born she's born in the 60s. She's not from like 1845. Right. His mother, Marina de Souza, was sold. Her family sold her as a laborer.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you just sell your children.
In like the 70s or 80s then.
In like when she was 12.
Oh.
We're talking like 1980. Right. Someone was like, let's sell fucking Marina.
Right.
wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy shit. So she was sold at 12 years old, because to work for a family in Sao Paulo when she was 12 to be like a domestic hand, I think.
Her name's Marina de Souza?
Marina de Souza,
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like a suburb of L.A.
It sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It really
Sounds like
does.
a really rich area of L.A.
Marina de Souza. I wish we could afford to live in Marina de Souza with all the shit. Man. Well, OJ had to move out of Brentwood. He considered Marina de Souza as an option, but he didn't do it.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, that was where the Manson family was going to strike next. It was down in Marina de Souza.
They couldn't find anybody with any money.
Yeah, that's all it was. So 12 sold as domestic help, and she'll be a maid forever. That becomes her profession, because I mean, I guess you're learning it when you're 12.
She's probably really fucking good at it.
Yeah, I bet, but that's wild. I mean, I don't know a lot of people's mothers who were sold when they were 12, like people who are 36 years old right now, and they're like, yeah, my mom was sold when she was 12. Pardon?
Yeah.
Where what? Fucking, where the fuck did that happen? So there was so much poverty there, that she was, the family was thousands of miles south, by the way, in Sao Paulo, all the way down to Sao Paulo. They sold her. So it wasn't even like they sold her to the next town where they could see her. They were like, bye.
My fuck.
Clean well.
Yeah.
And that was that. Fucking insanity. So she works as a maid while Robinho's a kid as well. Continues to work as a maid there. His dad, Gilvan, is a salesman at the time. So they're really poor growing up. Robinho grows up in a very poor area, and he's super poor. Everybody's poor. A lot like the Bruno Fernandes de Souza story where we're talking about, and it was, favela times.
Right.
And
that's right.
Remember, I'm from the favela, bitch. I don't play that shit or whatever the fuck he said. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's, wow. That's kind of what we have going on here.
Yeah.
Except Bruno was kind of like an angrier, meaner guy.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's the happiest cat ever.
Really?
Even while shit's going bad for him, big smile, happy quotes. Yeah. He's just Mr. Happy, this guy, which is so strange.
He doesn't realize how bad it is?
I don't know. I think if everyone else has it that bad, maybe you don't realize that it's that bad.
Possible.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure here, but he started out playing, soccer in the streets, and apparently he was kind of immediately the best kid in the neighborhood at it.
Yeah.
He's a tiny little fucker too. He's like 5'7".
Really?
All full grown and shit. He's tiny. He's a thin little guy. So he was very quick as a kid, obviously too, if he's a smaller kid there.
And his mom got out of the slave trade when he was born, or was she still in that shit?
No, she wasn't. It wasn't the slave trade. She was sold to be a worker, I'm sure, for a certain amount of years, or I don't know how that works exactly.
I'm so curious about that.
And from what I read too, and I don't know how true this is, but from what I read, very poor families in Brazil at that time would kind of, quote, sell their kids, and they considered it like a favor to the kid because they were going to a nice place. Even if they had to be a maid, at least they're not living in the favela. You know what I mean? And that, I don't know how true people actually thought that was, or if that was just the rationalization for selling children. I'm not sure how that worked exactly, but that was kind of
that's a shitty justification.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't feel right. Exactly. No. I mean, if you were giving the kid to be adopted into a better life, like, that's a different story. But if you're like, you're going to go, you have to go, be Cinderella, that's another fucking issue, I think. So, at 6 years old, Robinho was signed to a local football academy to play soccer. His team won the championship in the first year. Wow. I don't know, little tiny children running around.
I imagine it's in, the World Cup.
Yeah, it's not. They're fucking so tiny. The ball's bigger than their head. Yeah. And they're bigger than their torso.
Sure.
They look ridiculous kicking it. So he ended up playing this game when he was later on at age 8. He played futsal, it's called. Futsal. It's like a smaller court. It's kind of like soccer, except the ball's different. Yeah. It's a weird ball. It's a different type of thing. The rules are different than soccer, but it's still soccer. It's still a soccer ball, and you have to.
Long or something.
It's almost like arena football compared to NFL football. It's a smaller, more condensed indoor thing, but the surface is weird too. It's like slick. It's a not slick, but it's hard to explain. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. I honestly don't. It's very strange, but he was amazingly good at it and got all these dribbling skills with the ball, kicking it around and shit. And he scored 73 goals in one season doing that, which was like way more than anybody else. Yeah. So he'll later say too that like he likes that the most. He'd rather play that than anything. Like if he could play that instead of soccer and make money, he would. Like that's what he wanted to do. He said that he gave that game all the credit for developing his dribbling and his acceleration skills in soccer. He says, quote, I used to spend a lot of time playing. It's one of my passions. I even joked with my son and told him that if it's possible, I would play futsal in the last year of my career. It's how I started, and to this day, the dribbles I do all come from it. So that gives him a good base for shit here. At 12, he used to have to try to get to the junior team that he played for because he didn't have bus fare. So he was too poor to afford bus fare to get there, so he would have to hitchhike rides or, scrounge up money for the bus to get all the way over to play this game. Yeah, to play soccer. So at 15, people started to talk about him and this kid over here. Oh man, this kid's really good. And people started paying attention, and he starts playing the junior team for Santos, which is the Santos Football Club, which is where Pele played down there. So Pele ends up seeing him and taking a liking to him. Yeah, and so that helps him out a lot because Pele starts touting him, which is like, if the king is saying that you're great, then people are going to look at you out of respect for him.
Utters a word about some kid down in Florida. There'll be scouts down there having a gander.
And LeBron James isn't even a proper comparison. Like there is no, I don't even know.
The biggest name in the NBA right now, right?
Right now, but I'm saying Pele hasn't played in 50 years. He's still the biggest goddamn name in soccer. So it's he'd be like the Babe Ruth said this kid can hit okay, or I don't know, somebody like that. Fucking Vince Lombardi was like, yeah, he's all right. People might give you a look, a second look. His mom once said that, quote, my hope is for Robinho to make it in soccer and take us out of all of this. So the whole family has their hopes pinned on him and his athletic prowess. It's the only hope they have.
Man.
It's the only hope they have, though.
That's 15, literally it. That's his pressure.
That's it. They're like, score goals. Yeah. This really sucks.
15, he wakes up every day and goes, my entire family needs me.
His mom's like, go ahead and score a goal. Did I tell you I was sold when I was 12? Right. So the pressure to score goals really isn't as bad. I got to be honest with you. Try being sold. Right. Would you like me to sell you instead? But right now, you're a valuable stock. I'm going to hold on to you for a while here. So, he plays for Santos there from 96, the kind of the junior club, as we always see these. Yeah. They sign the kids up real fucking early because he's, a young child at that point.
It's the equivalent of being sold, isn't it?
Kind of, I guess. But in soccer and hockey, they grab kids when they're 15. And in tennis, they'll do it.
That's wild.
It's strange, man. So 1999 comes around. And at this point, this is when Pele publicly pronounces that he's the heir apparent.
Wow.
So this is like, you want to talk about pressure.
Yeah.
Fuck, let's get the whole family out of the thing. If, on the field, now everyone's like, oh, that's the kid Pele said's the next him. Let's take a look at him. Imagine how much pressure that would be.
And then his mom's like, you better perform.
Yeah, he's right, fucker, get out there. So he's really quick. He's really good with the ball. I saw these highlights. Like, he's really good dribbling the ball around and all that sort of shit. He's the equivalent of like a point guard that can fucking dribble and cross people over. He's like Allen Iverson, basically. Yeah. So he reminds me of with a soccer ball. Good at attacking. He's Allen Iverson of soccer, kind of.
He's aggressive like that.
Very aggressive. He plays all over the field, too. Different positions. Yeah. He's kind of a floater. He's like the way Lawrence Taylor played defense.
All right.
Type of thing. Like, they'll stick him on the end. Maybe I'll go on the other end now if I'm going to take a shot over there. Just to whatever. Uses all sorts of shit. A lot of fake outs and that sort of thing. He's fun to watch. Do his thing. I got to say that. Very quick feet and that sort of shit. So people did see him and go, wow, yeah, he could be fucking Pele, I guess, right? And so they said he's one of the most exciting players ever. And, but everybody around, I guess in Brazil, it's basically anybody who's good when they're coming up. He's the next Pele. Like everyone, the next Michael Jordan, who's the next Jordan. LeBron's the next Jordan. This one's the next Jordan. It's the same shit with that.
Exhausting.
Yeah, everybody's the next Pele. So that gets old after a while.
Fuck yeah, especially with how many soccer teams there are and how many players they're filled with.
Every single kid down there is playing, and they're all
fuck up with Pele.
Exactly. So the media would always tout these people as an ex-Pele, and everybody roll their eyes, and they're like, yeah, right. And then in this case, though, now Pele came out in the media and said, no, he is the next Pele. I think so. Yeah. So then it was like, oh,
Pele thinks so.
Pele thinks so. So he said that he thought that Robinho could surpass him on the footballing stage, even, which is really a lot too much pressure.
I don't think Jordan ever said that
to
about
give
anybody.
A person. That's a lot of pressure. No, that's a lot of pressure to give a person. That's like when they fucking gave Mickey Mantle the number 6, and they were like, yeah, you're the next Joe DiMaggio. Literally, because DiMaggio is 5, they gave him 6 and said, you're the next Joe D.
Right in the middle.
Lost his fucking mind with the pressure and changed his number to 7 the next year.
I don't blame him.
Didn't have anyone, no fucking part of it. He was like, I can't do it.
I just gotta be me.
I gotta be me. So, Pele said, quote, youngsters like Robinho cannot leave Brazil. This generation has everything to shine at the next World Cup. So he's trying to convince. So a lot of times the money's not as big down there.
Sure.
So if you are an international star, if you're really good, they pluck you and take you to Europe, where you're going to make, they'll sign you to a $50 million, 50 million euro contract.
Right.
Otherwise, over there, you're not making anything like that. So, I mean, they'll make a good living for Brazil, but it's not the same as if you go to Europe and make a shitload.
And it's frightening, too, to make any sort of money. The damned if you do, damned if you don't shit applies heavily to third world, not even third world, just, marginalized societies like
lesser,
that.
Countries with less economic prowess.
You become successful, and then your family's lives are all threatened.
Well, we'll talk about that in great detail here.
Right.
He says, this is a quote from Robinho here about the Pele comparison. He says, quote, in the beginning it was very difficult because Pele is incomparable. There's no way you can compare yourself to someone who hit 1,000 goals, played in 4 World Cups, and is rated as the greatest footballer ever. I have to thank everyone that was by my side during these early years because I was always very well guided during my time in the academy at Santos. And then when I got into the senior team, I had my coach Emerson Leao taking care of me too. So, And then he said, quote, he once told me, you're a great player. You can look like him, but Pele is Pele and Robinho is Robinho.
Yes.
So that's a good way to look at it. He said, of course, it was nice to be compared to him, but I always had it clear in my mind that I had nothing on Pele. There will never be another footballer quite like him. So that's a good thing to think of. You don't want to be, I'm going to be better than Pele. That's kind of a silly way to think. I mean, I guess you can shoot for that and fall a little short, and that's great, but I don't know. That's
with how many soccer players there are and how many people make the team, you've got to have a competitive spirit about it.
That's the thing. It's just too much pressure to be like,
that's crazy.
Go be Pele now is, coach.
How about I make the team first?
Yeah, how about I'll fucking, let my balls drop and then I'll be Pele, all right? I got like 4 hairs on my dick and then I'm Pele now? No. Calm down.
Hilarious.
What are we doing here? So, he played several offensive positions, played a wing position, played as striker, forward, all these different things, even an attacking midfielder. I don't know what the fuck any of this means. That's what's great about it. I just read it confidently, not knowing.
I've played it. I don't know what the positions are.
I don't know shit. I've never.
I loved soccer.
I've never played soccer in my fucking life.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
Never.
If you don't smoke, it's fun. I'll say that.
I played basketball always, and it's not soccer.
It was brutal.
I think that's a height thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. This is the little guy's basketball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's set up the same way. But no, in New York, nobody played soccer.
That's fascinating, too, because a tall guy is actually faster, because I've got like 2 strides to every one of his.
No, I could see that.
So my legs are running like a bastard, and he's still beating me.
That's true. Yeah, in New York, I remember when I came out here, people played soccer. I was like, whoa, weird. In New York, nobody played soccer. That was just not a thing that happened.
It really is true, though. The little guys play soccer most, because there's very rarely a big guy on the field.
It doesn't, or a big tall guy, at least that's, you'll get, it seems like, Vinnie Jones was big. Yeah. Guys like that, there's a few of them, but that's, seems like, I think now, too, it's like hockey where they're trying to make it a quicker game and less based on kind of staunch defense.
Feels like it would be just much better if you're big.
Hockey, the taller you are, the better you have leverage, so you can lean on people.
Absolutely.
And it's a different
Push them
thing.
Down to the ice.
That's a good thing. Where soccer, you don't have that advantage, I don't think. Yeah,
and it's much better with soccer to be able to run around people. When they try to lower their shoulder, I'm lower than that.
That makes sense.
You can't hit me with your shoulder.
That makes a lot of sense. So he he's very creative and shit like that. People love watching him play, and he loves playing, and he says that, quote, "One day without smiling is a lost day for me." Wow. That's why he's always so joyous.
I wish I had that confidence.
Can you imagine if he felt like that?
That'd be great.
The lost day if I'm not smiling.
If I'm smiling, there's something fucking wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover for whatever terrible fucking thing's going on the inside. What's wrong with you? You look happy. It's never good to hear.
I just don't want you to know.
No. So 2002 is when he's on the Santos Football Club main roster, everything. He's 18 years old, for Christ's sake, so he's a kid. He makes 24 appearances and scores 1 goal that year, and they won the league, I guess, that year as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, the only thing that people have against him is he's criticized a lot for being kind of having a bad work ethic, and he's so skilled that people are like, he's kind of lazy. Practice? He's kind of an Iverson when it comes to that. He's so good. He's like, I don't really need this. I'm just wasting it on practice type of thing is, I think, his mindset, which for Iverson, I understood because he was getting the shit beaten out of him every game. Let the guy rest for a night and then he can, he didn't need to practice. He was fine.
You got to keep your fucking hips warm though.
Yeah. That's true. But for him, Christ, he had to let bruises heal for like Iverson. Right. For him though, it's, they say he's very slender and he's a smaller guy and he gets basically knocked over a lot, which annoys people because he's not sturdy enough to take a little shoulder bump. He'll get knocked over.
It's awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, I like that part
too.
Yeah,
I loved that too.
So he's not. That's a problem with him. They're like, we wish he tried harder, and he's kind of a pussy. But other than that, he's a great, finesse kind of a player here.
But if you get blasted enough, that's enough yellow cards. You know what I mean? Yeah. That'll get people tossed out of the game, too.
No, that's true. But he ends up, I don't know, whatever. He doesn't finish what he started sometimes, I guess. So the 2003, they reached the finals of the Copa Libertadores. Oh boy. But lost to the Boca Juniors, which is a team of kids from Boca Raton, Florida.
Right. Bunch of Jewish kids from New York City.
Sponsored by a retirement home. Yeah. Sponsored by Del Boca Vista.
Is it kids from Boca, or is it like old retirees that picked up soccer in their old age?
This is a pro real team, so I think it's the older people here. So this is apparently that's what they call the what is it? The Copa Libertadores. Jesus Christ. Libertadores de America is the annual international club football competition organized always since 1960. So the literal translation of its name into English, which is that, would be the Liberators of America Cup.
Okay.
So there you go. A cup for the Liberators of America. I guess who kicked out the Portuguese. Right. There you go.
I mean, as an arrogant, dumb American, I hear America, and I'm like, but they're in... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they mean the continent of South America. Yeah, they're both Americas. So 32 appearances and 9 goals that year for him. I think that's good. Right?
I think.
That's like a goal, a little more than every 3.5 games.
Not bad.
It's pretty good.
I suppose.
That seems good.
He's a midfielder.
No, he's everything. Okay. He's only a midfielder sometimes. Okay. But he's mainly like a winger.
Okay.
So he's there to score goals, but I mean, if fucking the games are 2-1, I mean, you score one of them every 3 games or so. That's a pretty good. It's a pretty good rate, I think. So also he played an international play in 2003. He earned his first cap, which means he appeared. We found out many times ago in the Brazil's 2003 CONCACAF. CO. It's all caps, so I assume it's a acronym for something here. CONCACAF Gold Cup match. Okay, they lost to Mexico anyway, so there's that.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship,
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
There. Now, 2004, Robinho finished with 21 goals in 37 games.
Oh.
That seems really good.
That's impressive.
That's good, right? Yeah, that seems awesome. That's more than every other game.
That seems like better than anybody's stat I've ever heard.
That's terrific, yeah.
27 in how many?
21 goals in 37 games.
That's incredible.
That sounds awesome,
yeah.
Right? And they win another kind of title there, another, they win the league.
Get another belt.
Another belt or cap or patch or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they have here.
I hope they get belts.
That'd be great. Not even like, championship wrestling belts.
Just an actual belt.
Just a leather belt.
It says Levi's on it.
There you go.
Has their name stamped
there
on the back.
There you go. It's reversible.
Right.
Turn it over. It's brown on the other side. So,
both your shoes.
That way you never know. You never know. One day you got black shoes. Next day you got brown shoes. You're covered, mister. Same belt. Switch it over.
That's what I want.
Yeah. It's me too. So this year, 21 goals in 37 games, as you might imagine, brings him to the attention of the whole world that plays soccer, basically. Everyone in the whole world, including a lot of European clubs, start to look at him. And, this is how these clubs, the smaller clubs, make money, too, is by selling their players.
Oh, boy.
So because there's a transfer fee, which is you have to pay to the team. So that's usually a shitload of money, at least as much as the player's getting paid. So it's a big deal there. So, they're looking at, so you have to make a choice. Do I want to keep this player that we like so much, or do we want to sell him? Because otherwise, when his contract's up, he's going to go anyway. It's, one of those things. So he remains with the club the next year, though, because the Santos rejected all offers for him. So he was the hometown guy, next Pele. We're going to hang on to him. Yeah. We're going to hang on to him. We think he can be the face of the franchise and everything else. So the thing is, he also loves to party.
Yeah.
He fucking loves a nightclub.
And how do you not?
He loves it. He's down in Brazil.
Oh, Christ.
There's asses shaking all over the place.
Have you seen Brazilian girls? What the fuck?
I have, yes, you have.
I'm in.
I'm telling you, you watch
as like
anything.
A big face of a fucking soccer team there?
Yeah.
Forget it.
The only things I know about Brazil are that the women seem to be attractive.
Yes.
And what else? That's about it, because we've watched.
Yeah.
We've done episodes. That and anything I've learned on 90 Day Fiance, because a lot of the girls are from Brazil on 90 Day Fiance.
Brazilian, right?
I think so.
She's amazing.
South American of something.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
And if they all look like that, I'm coming. I'm on my way.
There's a lot down there. So,
but it's that, and the other thing I know about Brazil is that a douchebag swimmer was an idiot there. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. So he loves to party. He loves to go out to the nightclubs and do all sorts of crazy shit and party with his friends, drink. He's a big drinker, big dancer.
Hell yeah.
Likes all that kind of shit. There's one incident here where he was partying until 5 a.m. At Rio's Catwalk Club, and he apparently came out of there and asked the manager if he could send somebody to the store with him at 5 a.m. after being... for him after being there all night, because they needed about 40 condoms.
Oh boy,
40.
That's how do you? Where do you get to that estimate?
40.
Yeah.
He said, get like 2 boxes of 20. I need like 40 condoms, he said. Can you go get that for me? So that's a fucking night.
Around 40. Somewhere around that number.
40?
Yeah.
I know it's him and his friend, but I mean, that's a lot of, you're covering 40 dicks here? What's happening?
5 a.m.
That's what I'm saying.
How many times are you planning on fucking tonight?
You partied all night, got to 5, and now it's like, well, now we start fucking.
Yeah.
Now it's time to get down to a real party.
One fuck, you're out of energy, right?
This dude parties hard. Not in Brazil. I feel like in Brazil, it takes many more fucks to be out of energy in Brazil. It's at least 40, yeah. I feel like. No, so I don't know how many people there are there, but he...
Do you guess 10 and average of 4?
Yeah, like you never know. They're going to take him off because I'm sure they had different girls there. Yeah. I don't know what the hell kind of party they were having, but... If you need 40 condoms at 5 a.m., wow, that is...
I mean, at 5 a.m.
That's a hardcore party.
Isn't that past gentleman time? Don't you just leave the one on until it's full of something on the inside?
I suppose.
Fuck the outside?
There might be many more guys. I don't know. Maybe he's planning on multiple fucking rounds. It's 5 a.m., dude.
That's crazy.
How many times are you going to fuck before you get tired at 5 a.m.?
The sun's almost up.
The sun's, you've been drinking all night and dancing and everything else. Now you're like, let's fuck 40 times? What are you, crazy?
Is it just him or is it with a bunch of friends?
I'm sure it's friends. I mean, he's probably got a private room and he's like, hey, me and my boys need 40 condoms.
That's a lot.
Wow. And the guy who took the order for the condoms was like, can I please come to your party?
So I get 41?
How many? 40? Can I come, please? Jesus.
At least once?
At least just one. Can I just look? I'm going to drill a hole in the door and just look, because it's going to be like fucking Caligula in there.
I mean, if I'm going and doing a run like that, I'm for sure saying, so I'm part of this, obviously.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
you can just walk in. I got the condoms, everybody.
I'm the guy that's facilitating the fuck. Yeah. I get to come too.
You just walk in with one on. I brought 39. Fucking dick out. How you doing, everybody? 39 condoms here for you.
I got 40. One box is open, and then point your dick go, obviously.
Obviously. Ladies. So, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, I'm a mess, but I'm a part of this. I help. You can all fuck because of me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I get to fuck too.
Let's be honest, you're probably going to do it anyway, but... Now you can do it with less anxiety. Right. You're going to enjoy it more. Well, probably not, but you will enjoy it more later when it's over. You'll be like, oh, okay, I'm glad I did that. During it, you'll hate it. But later.
And that's assuming some gentlemanly lady is going to be like, you did us all a favor. I'm going to take one for the team.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Who's going to fuck the
right. Who's going to fuck the errand boy?
Yeah, who's going to fuck the non-soccer player? Right. Yeah. So apparently there was an incident in 2004 that they dubbed the shorts dropping crisis. Okay.
Crisis.
I think that's a translation thing, probably. I don't know what crisis, and who knows what translation.
Epidemic.
He was asked about it because I guess we'll find out. Mm-hmm. He says about this whole thing, so he was asked about it, and Robinho says, quote, "It was a disastrous prank I pulled because their midfielder, Diego, was always pulling my shorts down, and I could never get revenge." What are they, in 7th grade?
Right.
This is what you did in 7th grade.
Yeah.
You say, rip down, and you'd fucking do that, and that was funny.
Is that what you guys said?
Yeah, that's what they did. Rip down.
That's a New York thing.
You'd have to shout it, too, while you did it, because you'd have to draw attention to the matter. You'd have to draw attention to the matter.
It's
rip down! He turns around, some guy scrambling. That was the fucking... Yeah.
Nobody ever shouted anything. It was very obvious when a very white penis was out.
Well, yeah, but did everyone know? What if they had their backs turned?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
It's a great
Rip
point.
down told what? Everyone's cracked their fucking head. Hey, look at that. Yeah.
No tan on
Why
that one.
do it if no one's going to if everyone's not going to see it? That's the thing.
Down.
Those are the two things I remember from that was junior high, and then high school. If anyone had a wool sweater on, you'd light it on fire in the cafeteria. New York was a weird place to grow up, but you have like the wool sweater
I'd rather
on.
have my balls out. Jesus. What kind of fucking prank is that?
It's hilarious. A wool sweater. If you just flick a light, that's the thing. If you just flick a lighter in a wool sweater, it goes up, but for like a quarter of a second. It literally goes poof, and you're you're a human flame for a flash to where you go, what just happened? You don't even, you think maybe if you're wearing the sweater, you don't even know if it just happened or not, but you feel hot a little bit too at the same time.
Yeah, a little warmth on your neck.
You're like, what the fuck? But you do that when people are like eating at the cafeteria. They're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you sneak up behind them and they just go poof. And then everyone at the table cracks up laughing and they're like, Jesus Christ, am I on fire? It's fucking fun.
I think I'd rather have my dick out than worry about third-degree burns.
That's what you did to your psychotic. That's what you did to your friends, by the way.
Right.
This wasn't to pick on someone. No, this wasn't like a bullying tactic. This was like, oh, look, there's Craig. I'm going to light him on fire because he's my friend.
I love that guy.
That's funny. Yeah.
See what he looks like with a blue flame around him.
Yeah, it's hilarious. If you can hurt your friends without, putting them in the hospital, that's considered. Thank you.
Unreal.
You did well.
These are dicks.
Yeah. So he could never get his revenge, he said. I was waiting for my chance for a long time, and then it came on the day we were having our official photos taken for the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament in Chile.
No.
Oh, yeah. So while he was posing for the cameraman, I did to him what he had done to me so many times, and everyone in Brazil got to see.
Oh, my God.
So,
he did it before the picture was taken.
Yeah, he did it as the guy was going to snap the photo. So then the photo got out.
Because Rip Down gets your attention. Rip down. Photographer accidentally hit the button.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Click, click, click. Rip down. Whatever that is in Portuguese.
Holy
Portuguese
shit.
Rip down.
It says it just like that.
Yeah. Portuguese Rip down. They pull his fucking...
Another Portuguese dick in the photo.
That's it right there, man. Portuguese Rip down.
Unbelievable.
So he said all the headlines the next day were about the photo. We thought it was hilarious, but then when we failed to qualify for the Olympics, there was a lot of anger about it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you weren't fucking around playing grab ass, you would have made the goddamn fucking...
Not so funny anymore.
Yeah. He said that was a turning point for us. We knew we had to leave our childhood behind and become men. When we then realized exactly what it meant to wear the yellow shirt of the national team in a very important competition and not pull each other's dicks out, please. Right. Now, there is dangers, like you mentioned, of being a famous next Pele soccer player.
Too big, too fast.
Too big, too fast. There's dangers in countries like this where, there's dangers here where athletes carry guns at a higher rate than anybody else, and a lot of them, if you've known any athletes, they say they carry guns because people know they're athletes and people try to rob them all the time if they're like the go out type. So guys do that shit. Now, I would probably hire security to not end up with a Plaxico Burress situation.
Or a class to know how to handle it. And also, maybe get a fucking license to carry it.
That too, but I wouldn't even put myself in that situation. If I'm somebody that goes out and gets fucked with and people are trying to, I feel in danger, I'll go to the team and go, hey, here's what the deal is. I go out at night. Yep. And when I do, I don't feel safe. So I'm going to start carrying 2 fucking guns with me, and we'll see see if you come up with headlines tomorrow.
Right.
Or you guys can hire some security to walk out with me, and they'd go, well, we'll have guys with you tonight then. To not have, their running back fucking shoot somebody in a nightclub, they'll probably... Send security out.
The other part is they have to have some forethought and, plan your fucking night. Don't just go on a whim to some bar that you find is trendy, because trendy bars have, fucking assholes.
You do. You have to be careful is the other thing, which, you have to be extra careful in places like Brazil, because we think of poverty here and it's bad. It is nothing compared to what the poverty here and the poverty in Brazil, not to, take away from anybody's plight here, but holy shit. If you go to the favela and you'll go, whoa, holy fuck. All right, never mind.
8-year-old chasing a chicken down the street because that's dinner.
That's what I mean. And we read a lot about it, and it's shit is wild down there. And even on 90 Day Fiancé, and we know this, we talked to Sarah if you ever watch 90 Day Fiancé, from Michael and Juliana. Juliana was from Brazil. She was like 22. And then he's the guy who drives the Porsche, Michael. So Sarah is Michael's ex-wife, and they all hang out together. They're all very close and all that kind of shit. We talk to Sarah all the time. Yeah. Me and my Sarah talk to that Sarah all the time, and we're friends with her and stuff. And so, we take kind of special interest in that. And Juliana on 90 Day Fiancé talks about how when she was a kid in Brazil, she basically didn't have enough money, and none of the houses had all 4 walls, so they would send her to sneak in to steal food from the neighbors if anybody had it, because they had no food.
Wow.
That's how poor they were. And then she was like married off into a cult when she was 15.
Jesus.
Like it's just it's different down there. There's
maybe the easiest robbery ever, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And she was like, she felt bad about it, but what are you going to do? You're a kid and you're hungry.
You gotta
so
survive.
That's what I mean. But that's the level of poverty we're talking about, where how walls aren't complete and shit. Not this place sucks.
Right.
It's a little bit different. Like I said, not to take away from anybody's shit. So he's the kidnapping's become a real problem basically around this area. There was a year here in the mid 2000s where 83 kidnappings for ransom were registered in 1 year in Sao Paulo, which is a shitload of like high profile people and stuff like that.
That's in the late 90s.
That's in the late 90s. So the families of football players start to become, first it's business people.
Right.
They kidnap business people. They hold them for ransom for the companies that they work for.
Right.
That's how they work it. Then they start going, okay, fuck this shit. Let's start. These football players have a shitload of money.
Right.
What if we kidnap their sister or their mom or somebody like that? They'll pay anything to get them back.
Much easier to get a hold of them than it is the fucking corporation.
That's the other thing too. And they tend to handle it a little different too. And we talked about Jesus Christ, the pitcher.
Right. What is his name?
Left hand. Yeah. Urbina. That's his mom. His mother in Venezuela was kidnapped. And it was a very similar situation, and it happens all the fucking time. It happens to this day, constantly. So friends would say that Robinho was on high alert about this shit all the time. He had bodyguards that he would go out with. He didn't go out alone. He always had bodyguards. However, his family didn't always take that advice. His family didn't believe in any of that shit. They were like, I don't care. We're not going to fucking be different people. We're not going to have bodyguards around or any of that shit. So November of 2004, his mother, Marina, was preparing a barbecue with friends of hers. That's nice. Right. It's in a place called Praia Grande, and it's about 45 miles from Sao Paulo. And while this happened, gunmen burst into the house.
Of course they did.
And according to the witnesses here, one of them was armed with a pistol, jumped into the back garden of the house where they all were in the backyard there, and said, quote, "Who's Donna Marina, Robinho's mom?" Mm-hmm. And he said, somebody pointed at him, and
everybody did.
Her,
not us.
yeah, no, not me. Shit. So they pushed everybody into the bathroom and locked everybody into the bathroom and stole the mother.
Yeah.
They kidnap his mother here. So they jump into her Mercedes. She's got a Mercedes. They take that. They put her in the trunk.
Oh, boy.
And they take off, basically.
Dead serious.
Oh, this shit is dead serious. Yeah. They leave these people locked in a bathroom. And, so they tell Robinho about this. Hey, your mom's got kidnapped and all.
Yeah.
So he's a little freaked out, as you might imagine.
Yep.
The team was playing somewhere else. He came home to
deal with this,
figure out what the fuck was going on. He left the team. They were in Santa Catarina preparing for a game, and he returned home. And the Santos police officer in charge of the investigation said, quote, "We already know through intermediaries from the Santos team that Robinho is calm and confident about our work." Mm-hmm. Great. Find my mom.
Right.
Don't give a shit.
Right.
Fuck are you doing? So he said, obviously, Robinho's got a statement here. He says, quote, "It's a very, very difficult period for me, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. When your mother has been kidnapped, every day is a bad day." Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
While they're holding her,
Right.
The kidnappers, where is that? The kid talks about Brazilian law, and it's not translated well. Let's see. Maybe they'll, talking about the kidnappers, maybe they'll pay their own ransom to make sure they stay free. It's made me realize how important my family is and what really matters in life. It's made me care about my family, my wife, my son, that's later on, my mother, my father, are the people who mattered to me most in my life.
Yeah.
So, she's bundled up and all this shit. She's held for over 40 days.
Good Lord.
They keep her. Also, they send him videos demanding ransom. They send another video where they show them cutting her hair. They shave her head.
That's fucked up.
They're just trying to, abuse her and humiliate and get him to want to, pay the ransom, I guess, here. There are rumors that she's been killed around the neighborhood and shit. It's kind of spreads through the underworld that she's been murdered.
Hard to assume that somebody's going to last for 40 days.
That's the thing. So she's gone that long, and this is really not like we said, not anything different at all. It's a journalist here said in Rio, just as much as Sao Paulo, kidnapping is a really worrying thing for the players. It isn't the first time something like this has happened to a football player. You'd think that because he was from a poorer background, the kidnappers might not have done something like this, but they obviously knew exactly what they were doing, and that they will be sold for all this money. He's talking about the players having a ton of money that they're sold to other teams for here. So they're talking about famous ones that happened recently. Two different coaches paid $160,000 to get each of their brothers back that were kidnapped.
That's lucrative.
That's a lucrative thing. That's what I mean. Down there, it's a shitload of money.
Fuck yeah.
That's a lot. One person says here, it's the visibility of footballers and their earnings. Kidnapping attempts against the players or directors of clubs or their families are occurring every 6 weeks or so, and 75% of these are successful. They stalk, they pay people for information. I mean, this is their business. Yeah. They're not fucking around here at all. This is a researcher at the Sociological Research Center in Buenos Aires that studies this sort of shit here. They said that Argentinian clubs are also having a problem with that. What they started doing in Argentina was they stopped revealing the sums that the players were sold are making.
Right.
So, but they still know they're making a shitload of money. But they don't know exactly who's making what to say, like, that guy just got a huge contract.
But it's pretty obvious by who's the most fucking important guy on the team.
That's the thing.
Everybody knows
who are they talking about?
Right.
He's making the most money. Right. So that didn't really, they said that they believe it helped achieve a slight reduction in the abduction rate, which who knows here?
I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, another players will leave South America to get out of this, away from this. A player who left Argentina talks about how, his father, they tried to kidnap his father like 3 times, and he finally just signed out in Europe and took his family and left.
I'd take a pay cut for that shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they get paid more over there. So it's like, do I want to get paid more and have my family be safe, or do I want to, stay here for love of country and shit,
right,
and eat the food I like and stuff, and have my mother get kidnapped every fucking 3 weeks,
right. Have you had the plateau of slaves? It's delicious.
Yeah, have you had the slave platter? It's fantastic. So also, some of the guys have started pretending like they have no money, basically, like the Argentinian guys. There's one guy named Dario Alanes who takes the bus there. He takes the bus to the stadium to be like, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're just an easier target to roll on the bus now. Now they can just kidnap you right off the bus stop. Now they say that other players just say that, kidnapping is just a hazard. That's one of the, you could break your leg. You could do that. Maybe your mom gets kidnapped. That's part of it's all in the game, is the way they say it.
In any other profession, there's hazard pay.
Yeah,
not in this one.
That's the thing, man. The one guy here, one of the soccer players' fathers, who was released by kidnappers, he said, quote, "It's no big deal. The kind of thing that happens these days in Argentina." This is the man who was kidnapped.
He's accepting it.
He's like, it happens. What are you gonna do? Sometimes you get kidnapped. Okay.
They were nice.
Right. So November 10th, 2004, she's still gone. Mm-hmm. His mom, Robinho's mom. He's in the media pleading for her return. He's saying that he's waiting to hear from the kidnappers. They said that the police said they know an area that they're concentrating on that she could possibly be. Police chief said, quote, "All I can say is that the people who achieve success so quickly should be extremely careful to avoid this kind of incident."
Yeah.
Meaning him, I guess, meaning Robinho.
It's on him.
It's his fault, obviously. You shouldn't be successful. Don't be successful and take care of your family, because this is what's going to happen. Right. This.
How dare you try to get out of squalor? Now you're kidnapped. Now how do you feel?
See? Now you feel stupid, don't you? You should have.
Wouldn't you rather be plucking your dinner?
I was going to say, chase that fucking chicken. You'll feel better. So, they said Robinho said he's in a state of shock. He expected the case to be resolved, though. He said no one knows where she's gone at the moment. Things are complicated. He appears in a press conference with tears in his eyes and everything else, standing outside of his mother's apartment. begging that the reporters respect his family's privacy. And he says, I hope this ends well with my mom returning and me playing football. Because he's also not playing this whole time.
Of course not.
Because and that's all. I mean, it would be such a distraction for the team,
too.
Can you
imagine you?
Yeah, well, I mean,
if your mom got kidnapped, we wouldn't do this.
No, it's like,
we're not doing nothing athletic.
We don't have to kick anything.
No.
Well, and the problem is for him mainly is because I mean, he might be able to get that out of his head for a couple hours and focus. If you do something like this, you can focus, and athletes do it all the time. They have great games the day that somebody dies and shit like that. You can lock it in, but the problem is every reporter in Brazil is going to be on top of him in their locker room, up his ass, bothering the other players. It's so it's just not good at all, and it'll be worse. Police sources say the kidnappers are yet to make a ransom demand. They've said that obviously they're going to want ransom. Yeah. They've sent these videos, but they haven't made an exact.
Doing this if you're not getting any money out of this.
Yeah, they haven't made an exact demand, and all they said was our only target at the moment is just to bring the victim home safely. So later in the day, after Robinho appears on television begging, kidnappers make contact with the family finally here with something other than a video, and they demand a ransom of $1 million. Wow. Yeah, $1 million.
Is that what they were doing for 40 days, trying to figure out how much to ask?
I guess holding her to show that they mean business.
I guess.
Send the video showing that they could do bad things to her, and then say $1 million. Because
after all that time,
they saw him on TV all red-eyed and went, he
might be ready.
He's ready to crack right now. Yeah, we can roll this fucking guy. So what happens is the father, who has now become Robinho's agent, he's not a salesman anymore. He's now become Robinho's agent. His father negotiates the kidnapping for him. Okay. Negotiates the ransom, which is fucking hilarious.
Wife or his ex-wife?
No, this is his wife, and he's negotiating the ransom. If it was his ex-wife, he'd be like, "What, $1 million? Nope."
Next offer.
Do you have counter offer?
No.
Nope. So you stuck on $1 million? All right, then. Yeah. All right, then. So, there's dinner pretty soon here, so I'm going to get going.
I got a thing.
Have a good one. It'd be like Ruthless People.
Yeah.
Remember Ruthless People with Danny DeVito?
So
they kidnapped Danny DeVito's wife, Bette Midler. Right. It's Judge Reinhold kidnaps her. And they call him up for a ransom, and he's like, I don't want her. Fucking keep her. I don't care what the hell you do with her. You're like, we're going to kill her. He's like, good. Great. Do it. Knock yourselves out. Bye. And they'd hang up on him. And he's like, what the fuck? Calling him back. Hey, we really have your wife. He's like, I really don't give a shit. That's what's going on here.
I got to watch that again.
It's so great. I haven't seen it in so long.
It's so good.
Such a fucking
that
great
one and
movie.
Throw Mama from the Train. Both are so good.
Fantastic. Fucking fantastic. So good. God, I love Danny DeVito.
Why is murder and kidnapping amazing?
It's so funny. When Danny DeVito's involved, something about it just makes it hilarious.
It's great.
It's so great.
What did he say? It was quid pro quo? Was that what he said in that movie? No.
It was crisscross. Crisscross. Like he was talking about because they were taking creative writing course. Right. He was like, crisscross.
That's
just
not
like
what
in
I
the
meant.
book. Yeah. That's what I meant. I'll kill your ex-wife. So they make contact here, and they wanted the kidnappers. By the way, were insisting on speaking directly to Robinho, and the father would not do it. He said, "You talk to me. Right. I'm the negotiator." But their main thing was they wanted to talk to him, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah. What if they just wanted like an autograph?
That's their sticking point.
Hey, will you just like sign something for us?
We got a pair of shoes.
Can you put like
an autograph
to Marsha? Like she really likes you. So.
You gotta go.
So while this is all going on behind the scenes, Real Madrid has been wanting him.
Okay.
So Madrid is after his ass.
Great team.
Yeah, and they want him for a lot of money and all of this, and it was about to go through right before the kidnapping happened. So now it's on hold because obviously it's, we're going to negotiate a contract. Hold on, guys. I got to negotiate with the kidnappers here, and then we'll get to contract talks tomorrow. So, the preliminary talks on hold, obviously here. Reports in Brazil claimed that Madrid agreed to a fee in the region of $20 million for him as a transfer fee. That is fucking wild here. They said this is his other he has like his dad handles his business, and then he's got another kind of a business guy. Yeah. He says, quote, Roberto Carlos and Ronaldo have phoned me to let me know they can help Robinho for anything he could need in Madrid. Mm-hmm. Those are the players. Ronaldo's a
big deal.
Very famous player there because that's where he comes in, he plays with a lot of famous players, and he said when he got there, they were all nice to him, and
really?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like he was playing for an all-star team, and they all kind of treated him like the little brother of the team. That's nice, yeah. He says, this is his agent here, now that I have received this information about what has happened with his mother, I might have stopped the meetings for negotiations. The weird translation, I think. He said, Robinho phoned me, and he cried a lot, and he was shocked about what was happening, but he told me to take care of the negotiations. He told me to stay in Spain, not to return to Brazil, and to keep having conversations with Madrid.
And that's his father.
That's another guy. That's his other agent. So he's got two negotiations going on, one for his mother and one for his team.
Career.
That's fucking wild, man.
Unbelievable.
He does say that he has hope for his mother there. His agent says, quote, based on my gut feeling, I think that this week the kidnapping will end. But if it isn't resolved, he won't play till it is. So why does he have that feeling? That's because that day, Robinho paid a ransom of $83,000 to these people.
To get her back. That's what they settled on.
They settled on from $1 million to $83,000. His dad's a good agent. Yeah, his dad's a good negotiator.
Not bad.
And $83,000.
Less than 10%.
Like they didn't even get to like $100,000, and they're like, you know what? Good. He was like, how about 77? They were like, 77? What? We have your wife. Yeah, 77.
Right.
90.
She's past her prime.
I'm not going past 85.
Have you seen this
80,005.
It's not that clean anymore.
80,500 is my final fucking offer. 85? I can't do it. I can't do. Meet me 83. Meet me in the middle. All right, fine. 83. Hey, deal. That's how that happened.
Sure, it was.
So
they said $1 million. He said $10,000.
Yeah, he was like, "I'll give you 7,500." And I got a used Audi you can have as well.
Yeah, he did it like a Craigslist negotiation where people are like, yeah, I need $1,000 out of this. They're like, I've got $10.
Yeah, I'll give you $12. But I'll pick it up.
Right.
So
I got $12. Can you deliver? What?
Yeah, huh? No,
fuck
with
you.
the gas. So he's hoping that this week his mom is returned because he gives him the money, but shit.
And he doesn't know. He coughed up $83,000 and it's even just in the wind.
No, it's this isn't a
right. This isn't.
You don't go up and ask for a receipt.
No.
Can you scan my mom on the little thing? And I'd like a receipt, please.
There's no return policy.
No,
this isn't Macy's.
Nothing. Know. So December 18th, 2004, his mother is returned. 41 days after she was abducted, she is returned, which is goddamn wild here. The kidnappers left her on a small road in the neighborhood of Perus. The local resident said, quote, she wasn't terrified or shaking or anything. She just asked for help to call the police. Yeah. So, can somebody call the police, please? They brought her immediately to a hospital to make sure that who knows what they did to her. Right. So they brought her in. She spent 2 hours in the hospital undergoing blood tests and x-rays and everything else. They said that she was dehydrated and lost about 10 pounds. But, other than that, she was fine. They didn't inject her with syphilis or anything. Right. So that's good.
Great.
That's helpful, right?
Lost 10 pounds?
They're right. She came back. She's like, I feel good.
I'm really shocked by
I was feeling
how
15.
Little you fucks love me. 83, that's where you settled? Really?
Really?
They asked for 83? You love me $83,000 worth of $1 million? That's what you love me?
How long did that extra negotiation take? Yeah. I could have been back sooner, couldn't I?
Back. You could have just paid. What, on day 4?
Yeah.
You fucking jerks.
You said 77's final offer and hung up and didn't talk to him for 2 more days. Both of you were trying to fucking...
I lost another 2 pounds because of you assholes.
Thanks a lot. So the police declared a media blackout on it in November, so there was very little reporting because they didn't want to...
don't encourage
it, basically, here. The police did say that the ransom was paid, and they never announced a motive, which I would imagine would be ransom. It's really not that hard to figure out.
Clearly money.
We're not sure of the motive. Well, I am.
They paid money to get her back. We're not sure why.
Someone robs a gas station. No one's like, I wonder why they did that.
Not sure why they did it.
What could the motivation be? Do they hate society? No, they needed $150. That's why.
They didn't want to pay for those cigarettes?
That's it. So, following all this, basically, they bring her in. They shaved her head. The police officers the kidnappers had shaved her head. That'd be really weird if the cops did it. Here's your mother. We shaved her head, though. So,
make sure she didn't have lice.
Yeah, they brought her in. Crowds started to form. They brought her in this at 2:30 in the afternoon. She pulls up to her apartment. everybody's there and waiting. And he says, quote, "It's Christmas." There was a big sign that says, "It's at Christmas that the baby Jesus answers our prayers." Oh. There we go. And that's when her husband said that, that's not that big of a deal. It happens. He said the same thing the other guy said, which, okay.
$83,000's a lot of money.
That's a lot. So they did a Brazilian TV program to reunite the members of the family here. So they did this whole thing. They discovered at that moment that Robinho's grandfather, his mother's father, had never even knew that he played soccer.
Wow.
Because they don't talk, because she was sold when she was 12. So he had no idea about his grandson or any of that shit. So on this show, they brought this guy in and said, that famous football guy? That's your grandson. Wow. He's like, holy shit. Wow. That's pretty cool. So apparently that they have limited access to media where her family's from. They're that poor that they don't even have access. They didn't even see in the newspaper who they were. Like, they didn't have anything. Very, very bad there. Very poor.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
More kidnappings follow this, by the way. Just a few that happened in Brazil around this time here. February 23rd, 2005, armed men invade the home of Ilma de Castro Libano, who is the mother of a Sao Paulo striker named Graphite. Graphite is his name?
Solid name.
That's a good name. It's like a good club.
Although it's just a pencil.
I guess. After tying up her husband and son, they take her away, and police ended up rescuing her the next day. The next month, March 7th, 2005, Sandra Helena Clemente, who's the mother of Luis Fabiano, who was a striker for the Portuguese, some Portuguese soccer team, is kidnapped. She's not released for 2 months. As well, March 21st, which is 2 weeks after that, Inez Fidelis Regis, who's the mother of a defender named Rogerio, is kidnapped from her home, and the police free her 4 days later. Again, all these are ransom here. May 3rd, 2005, Alice Custodio Nazare, who's the mother of a defender here, Marinho, is abducted by kidnappers disguised as florists. I read about this one. She was getting a floral delivery, and
they snatched her.
They snatched her. Yeah, they brought her flowers while she was like doing gardening and fucking took her. It's crazy. He paid $20,000 for her release. So yeah, there's that. And August 14th, they figure out, and we'll talk about it, who kidnapped his mom. And it's very fucking interesting here. We'll talk about that. So he also gets an Urban Dictionary entry in 2005 as well, Robinho.
What's it called?
Robinho is a frail player who is very quick and scores many goals.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but he's frail.
From that, yeah.
Because the quote was like, he did this and that, yeah, and then he fell down. Too bad he's a Robinho or some shit. One of those. So, now he scored 9 goals in 12 games that year, and people really were into him. Plays an international play here. He's part of the Brazil squad for the 2005 FIFA Cup.
Awesome.
Which Brazil went on to win.
Yeah.
He was on that team. During the tournament, he scored in partnered with Adriano in attack and scored in group matches against Greece and Spain. Okay, apparently he scored goals against Greece and Spain. Fuck, it's hard. I don't know what any of this means, so I have to translate it.
Well, and also it's a group effort in those sports.
Yeah, that was from Portuguese also, so the words are...
Oh,
yeah. I'm trying to figure that out. No. Well, Google, thank God Google knows it, but still the words never come out quite as smooth as if, a human translated it, that sort of deal. So July 2005, finally, the Madrid thing goes through here. They sign Robinho by agreeing to pay a fee equal to 60% of the buyout clause in his contract, which turns out to be 24 million euros.
Sweet Jesus.
Which is a shitload of money.
Like $10 billion American right now.
Yeah, they say his wages are estimated at $229,000 a week he makes.
Wow.
A week.
American?
That's dollars. 160,000 pounds a week. That's what he was making.
That's incredible.
That's wild in 2005. 229,000 pounds a week in 2005.
Right.
That's now that's, I don't give a fuck.
$83,000 ain't shit.
30 years from now, 229,000 a week is going to be great. 100 years from now, it's going to be great. That's a lot of fucking money. That's ridiculous.
It's incredible.
That's $1 million a month almost. That's wild. That's $900,000 a month almost. That's fucking crazy. So, the Madrid vice president here, he spoke of his excitement of landing such a great player. He said, we are delighted. Robinho is a very important signing for us. We need great players, and he's one of them. They signed another guy, too. So they say they are 2 great young players, and they will form a very good young base for this team. The situation with Santos had reached an uncomfortable position for everyone, but fortunately, we found a solution that suited everyone. So that was selling him. So August of 2005, a kidnapper is arrested.
Oh.
Let's fucking talk about this shit. This guy is... let's talk about him. They call him, his nickname is Bin Laden.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, he's the Brazilian Bin Laden. That's what they all call him. He's a hardcore, not just a kidnapper, but they use the kidnappings to fund other shit.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk about terrorist activities. And it's fucking wild, man. They arrested, he was one of their most wanted criminals. He was the mastermind of Robinho's mother's abduction. And they arrest him. It's Celio Marcelo de Silva, nicknamed Brazilian Bin Laden here. They captured him after a car chase and gun battle in Sao Paulo also. He didn't go down easy, this fucking guy. He's crazy. So what the fuck, basically? What did he do? Let's talk about this shit. They call him a high-ranking member of the Sao Paulo's PCC faction, which is, it's PCC, but it's First Command of the Capital is what it is. I don't know what that's all about. Responsible for more than, for having ordered the season of criminal attacks later on. This is in like 2017. More than 300 attacks against collectives, civil police stations, bases, and the explosion of bridges and overpasses were carried out throughout the state by direct order of this fucking guy.
Fucking terrorist.
Oh, he's a fucking hardcore terrorist. Even though he was locked up in a federal maximum security prison for the kidnapping and then everything else that followed, he's still running this giant terrorist organization where they're fucking,
you imagine if our jails are corrupt, those are super corrupt.
Oh, we've read about how many different countries' jails, and
he's walking out the gates to go have meetings.
Do what he wants.
People.
Yeah, a lot of these jails are very loose. I mean, like we said, there's corruption in our jails where people do that, and that's a big deal here. There, it's a little looser anyway.
Right, they're playing it a little more fast and loose, I imagine.
Yeah, so they say that this guy has just they put him in an isolation cell. It still doesn't help. He gets word out. He gets word out through guards, I assume. It was thought that they would, discipline him and put him in privacy enough to where he couldn't run shit, but they can't. They just can't do it. I guess if you threaten or bribe people enough, you can get what you want. And basically, the attacks began on January 2nd. I want to say 2017, but I could be wrong here. With the burning of several of buildings. After that, the attack spread throughout the city with police stations. They bombed police stations and shot Molotov cocktails and threw Molotov cocktails and shot rifles and machine guns at different police stations, different bases. Then, once all that happened, the police were busy with that. That's when explosions started happening all over the place. Bridges, blowing up bridges, infrastructure. Bridges, overpasses, shit like that. They're blowing up. This is fucking crazy.
How do you even get that under control? I'd call the military, right?
It's a military operation.
Yeah.
This is like, it's organized and it's coordinated. It's all over the place. It's things are blowing up. I mean, this isn't like Five Guys. This is a fucking militia. This is crazy.
This is a Brazilian Fight Club.
I would say, holy fuck, man. So, all of this shit, fires in garages of, any public garage they set fire to, shit like that. Also set fire to car dealers, burned as many cars as they could is what they were doing too. So they had a secret investigation carried out by the Public Ministry of the state through its Special Action Group to Combat Organized Crime, which is, some bullshit acronym that doesn't work for English. Anyway. Appointed as the one guy here is the leader of all this, and he calls him the Bin Laden, and he said that this guy orders the supply of large caliber weapons and ammunition to several Brazilian states, and basically this is just one of the things that he's been doing and planning on doing, and
just
holy
the
shit.
Worst guy.
He's the worst fucking guy. Yeah, he is Brazilian Bin Laden, and that's who kidnapped his mom. So, yeah, he was the mastermind anyway.
He's very lucky to have that mom back.
Exactly. Well, this guy wants money, so he can take. It probably costs a lot to fund, statewide terrorist attacks. I would assume
that might have cost him $400 to do all that shit.
To keep all those guys, though, right, that's what I mean. You have to pay all those guys, feed all these guys, supply all these guys with equipment. I mean, somewhere for them. It's a big deal. So he goes to Madrid and he does well. His first season, he's in 37 appearances, scored 14 goals, which is pretty goddamn good on a big team there. And he likes it. He says it's fun. Yeah. He says that the Spanish supporters are a lot different. He says the Spanish go to the ground and treat it like it's going to the theater. The English supporters go to the ground to support the team, to scream and shout and do whatever they can do for their team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the support is a massive surprise, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. They took to him fast, and he didn't understand why exactly, but he loves it.
Europeans are hilarious.
They are.
They piss on somebody else in the stands, and they think that's going to help their team.
Yeah, well, you know what? You never know. It might have one day.
Right.
It might have years ago.
Some guy's beer, and they're like, we
just
scored because of that.
You never know. I'm pissing next time we get the ball.
I'm nuts.
So 2006-07, he has some problems with the manager here. He spends the first few months of the season as a substitute, doesn't get in a lot of games. Yeah. This is after being man of the match in one of these matches against Barcelona. And so, he ended up starting later on and then having a really good season, apparently. He had 43 total appearances. I think that's a lot of other shits included, because when you look at the stats, there's like league play and then there's like 4 other things, and I don't know what any of them mean.
Yeah.
So he had 43 total appearances completely and 8 goals. That's all I do know. So later on, Madrid won their 30th La Liga title that year as well.
Right.
Jesus Christ, that's a 30th? They're like the Yankees of that league?
I guess.
I have no idea. It was their third league It was his third league championship too, because he's been winning with Santos.
12 league championships a year. So
that's the other thing. We don't know how that goes.
I keep hearing about all these soccer championships that are playing. I was like, didn't they just play one last month?
Dude, they have international play. Yeah. They have this play, that play. Many. I don't even know what it is. They have fundraisers to help kidnap mothers. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's at this point that he gets beef with Pele.
Oh, boy.
Pele comes out in the media and says that Robinho is a disappointment and that Robinho takes drugs. So he says this in the press.
That's a wild accusation.
It's a pretty big accusation, which, I mean, it might be true. He parties like crazy, but you don't fucking know.
You can't say that.
He said Robinho said he was just blown away by it. He was hurt by it. He said he thought that was his mentor.
Yeah.
And he thought it was terrible. He didn't understand. He says, quote, "It appears Pele must be reading sensationalist media to come up with such a wrongful statement." He says, "If Pele does not come forward to retract his comment, I will have to deal with this very unfortunate comment in court." He's talking about suing him for libel.
Good.
That's a big difference from "he's my idol."
Right.
You don't usually sue your idol for libel.
But you have to.
You have to if they're going around
in that
taking,
case,
yeah.
If you're not doing drugs, you fucking better sue.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why America's U.S. is fucked up in a lot of ways, but one thing that's great is you can say any old crazy shit you want.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. I do enjoy that. You can go, I don't know, looks like he's on drugs to me. That's perfectly fine. You could say that about anyone else on the face of the earth, unless you say, I have categoric proof that he's on drugs, and still it's really kind of murky. They have to prove they don't do drugs at that point. That's how the fucking laws work here. It's a different thing. You can say any old crazy shit. It's wild. It is. In other countries, you get sued for saying shit that you don't.
Lose careers over it.
Yeah, it happens. So it's wild. So the football fans didn't take Robinho's side here, though. They took Pele's side, obviously. Really? Oh, yeah. They called it grossly disrespectful that he said that about Pele. God forbid. If Pele says you're on drugs, then you say you're on drugs.
Suck it up and take it.
You might as well do drugs, because we think you're on drugs. Robinho, they said, his head's too big now, and he forgot that all that Pele had done for him, is what they all said. So,
what the fuck precipitated that? There had to be a meeting somewhere, right?
I think he's mad he left. That's all. He's just pissed he went over there. That's what I thought anyway.
Calm down.
Chill out, Pele.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, who cares? He's making money for his family.
He's trying to keep his mom out of bin Laden's front yard.
Yeah, he moved his whole family to Spain when he moved there too. Yeah, that's the other thing. He got his whole family over there, so that's made everybody safe now.
They're not staying in a shit neighborhood in Spain either.
No, they're going to be. I'm sure
somewhere beautiful.
I'm sure that was part of the deal. Is I want all this money, and you're going to keep my mom safe too. Kind of thing that happened. And
there's something here called a Riviera. That's where we want to be.
That's where we're going to be. That's right. So he's 2006. He goes with the FIFA World Cup team in Germany there with the Brazil squad. He's mainly used as a substitute that year. However, he is in the starting lineup for their third group match when they beat Japan, and he made a substitute appearance in their quarterfinal loss to France. So Robinho was a regular starter for the team in 2007 Copa America, another tournament. Mm-hmm. There's so many fucking tournaments, man. I don't know. They're talking about. I don't even care. Who gives a shit?
It makes so much money. That's why it does that.
It does. The people love it so much.
Money.
Fuck, man.
It's cheap.
Yeah, it is.
How hard is it? I mean, you get a ball and you kick it towards an area that you deemed as a goal if you have no money.
You can do it. One ball, a shitload of people can play. That's
Done
the
deal.
thing. That's why basketball's good, too.
Yeah.
If you're poor, it's like, here's a ball.
And there's always
one hoop. You can always play.
There's always a hoop
it's
nearby.
Great. I love basketball for that very reason. So Robinho, he does play in 2 matches here. He scores a hat trick, 3 goals in their match against Chile, and then a 1-0. He scored the goal in a 1-0 win over Ecuador as well. And then he scores another 2 goals in a 6-1 win over Chile again. And then Brazil went on to beat the tournament. And he finished with the Golden Boot Award for the best player of the tournament.
Oh, man.
There you go. Golden Boot. Don't say that quite yet, Jimmy.
No.
Let's not do he's my kind of guy quite yet. I'm going to save you from
crushing it.
He's crushing it, and he's going to do something else. So 2007, 2008, the coach that he didn't get along with was fired. And another coach was appointed, and they get along much better, so that's good here. He finishes with 11 goals that one year, 2007, 2008. December 17th, 2007, a son is born.
All right.
He has a young boy.
You betcha you did.
Robson Jr.
Yes, he did.
Of course he did. What are you... Of course he did. Of course. Why? Why so fucking many?
I don't know.
Derek Coleman Jr. last week. I mean, Oscar Pistorius didn't get a kid out, but he would have definitely named him Oscar fucking Jr. if he could.
Pele might be right. His head is way too big.
Yeah, it's up his ass.
He is so proud of himself.
He's very free. Yeah, once you name your kid, that's hubris right there. You're into it here.
Yes, I'm the best.
Yeah. Well, he gets injured in the beginning of the second half of that season and doesn't recover that well before the end of the year. So that's a problem here.
Leg?
I think it's a leg problem. Yeah. 40. I don't know why anything else would bother you. My arm hurts. So what?
You can fucking
run. Fuck out there and run. Just running around. So, he was their third highest scorer while he's there so far. And he's also the player with the second most assists.
Oh,
so
he's a big deal.
He's doing pretty well. Yeah, he's not bad. He is the only Madrid player, along with their goalkeeper, to finish in the top 10 of the FIFA World Player of the Year nominations in 2007-2008.
2 in the top 10?
2
on their team.
On their team, yeah.
That's awesome.
So their president promised at this point to negotiate a new contract with Robinho midway through the season, but that never happened. So he instead said that he'll talk to him after the season, and then it didn't happen. So Robinho, he said that he went to the media and said the talks never began because Madrid was trying to get rid of him to get a deal going with somebody else. So that's what he starts saying in the press. So now Madrid is kind of backed into a corner where they have to try to negotiate a new contract because he kind of punked him out in the press. So they do that, and he rejects it and says he wants to leave. He says he wants to go to Chelsea really bad.
Really?
That's where he wants to go. There had been all these talks about transfers to Chelsea, and he said that's what he wants. He emphasized his desire to play for the club in London. He wants to be there. He loves it. The chief executive of Chelsea, one of them, Peter Kenyon, said that the club was confident that they would go through, and also Madrid has been given their consent. So this looks like it's going to all clear. He says he really wants to be there. He says, well, you know what? Let's give them it in their own words. What do you say? Let's give them in their own Portuguese words. In their own Portuguese words, quote, I want to leave, and I have got the character to tell the press that I am not aiming to stay at Real. It isn't because of money. It is simply because I want to leave. My personal aim is to be the best player in the world, and that isn't going to be possible at Real Madrid. I've played 3 seasons and have given everything. I think my period at Madrid has come to an end. I hope the directors reach an agreement with Chelsea to resolve my situation as quickly as possible.
He wants out.
He wants the fuck out. That is like a huge I want out. So they said that Chelsea said yes. Chelsea said everybody expected negotiations to go close to the wire, and that's what they will do, but we're confident it will happen. There's no hitches. It's just a lengthy process. So that's good. It's at this point where he kind of talks some shit about Madrid. He's saying that basically that he feels he wants out because he feels he wants to be liberated. He said things aren't ending properly for me at Real because the directors aren't behaving properly. He says, quote, we know they have a lot of excellent players, but then look at the way they treated me. They treated me like I was an average player. They make it very uncomfortable for me. He says, in football, anything can happen and everything can change from minute to minute. But I know my potential as a footballer. I know what I'm worth, and I don't feel I should be talked about as currency for someone else because he's in trade talks all the time. I don't like that. In the end, I feel undervalued. Once a player finds out that he is seen as bait in a part exchange, then how else can they feel? It's not a way to treat people. That's the way you treat athletes all the time.
You play a sport.
Yeah, it's trade bait is a thing that happens here.
You got to make yourself worth money, sir.
Yeah, so September 1st, 2008, a record is broken. It's a record for transfer fee here. He goes to Manchester City for 32.5 million pounds.
Wow.
That's a fuckload of money. That's about $45 million probably in that region. That's a shitload. They basically almost didn't happen because Manchester City needed to fax their offer through.
Yeah.
But the first time they sent it, they put the paper in the wrong way up, and all the other team got was a blank sheet of paper. So everyone sat around going, maybe the deal's off.
Right.
And they were like, why haven't we heard back from them? Did you? Oh my God, you put that. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
I thought they were going to be so excited.
Fuck, man. Yeah, they're waiting like this is a done deal. Hey, what's going on? Shit. So, it's pretty interesting here. So, that's as dumb as it gets, I would say, though, there. So they finally complete the deal here to transfer him to move to Manchester City on a 4-year deal. This is the same day that the club was bought out by the Abu Dhabi United Group.
Oh.
So they bought Manchester City, and then they're going to spend some money.
Really?
A big giant Arab investment firm from over there. So anyway, from the Middle East. So his expectancy to go to. He thought he was going to Chelsea though, and now he's going to Manchester City.
Yeah,
and he's like, shit.
That's different.
Well, yeah, the day he signed for Manchester, he said, quote, on the last day, Chelsea made a great proposal and I accepted. And then a reporter said, you mean Manchester, right? And he said, yeah, Manchester, sorry. Literally happened at a press conference. Oh, dude, my bad. They were so close to that, he forgot. His father's pissed at him, even though he just made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
His father says that his son doesn't have enough loyalty for clubs. Fuck that.
Kid's figuring it out, that's all.
Yeah.
It's 2007? I mean...
You got to do what you got to do to make the money, man.
Look at us, Dad. You ever heard of free agency in the NFL, and baseball, and basketball? That's what happens.
He said, quote, there is no such thing as wanting. Contracts have to be respected. So even if you want to leave, you have to respect your word, which is like, okay, but this is business, and that's not how that works.
I like his thought.
In a lot of things, personal matters, but in matters of big, giant business, if both parties don't want to be in that contract, they don't have to be. That's the point. You can negotiate things. So 2008 and 9, he's in Manchester City, and he does well here, actually. He does his, on October 26th, he scores his first Premier League hat trick against Stoke City. I've never even heard of that one.
I think it's down in San Diego.
Yeah, I think so. No, that's that's Fort Lauderdale, dude. That's a Florida team, I believe. And so, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, he wins over people right away. They like him in Manchester City because he is seen taking the bus into the city center to go shopping with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Turns out, though, so there's all everyone loves him, and they're saying, what a great down-to-earth guy. Wow. It wasn't even him. Somebody saw a guy who looks like him with a girl and went, hey, I saw him on the bus shopping, and it was spread all around Manchester. What a great fucking down-to-earth cat he is.
So I'm heading into Ross. What a sweetheart he is. He's
nope.
so just average.
Yeah, he says, nope, wasn't me.
Yeah.
He says later on, he says, quote, I'm not saying it's diminishing for anyone to use the bus. I used the bus when I was younger, but I haven't done that in Manchester. Yeah. So, yeah. Then they ask him something else, and he says, I have to look for my happiness, and that is going to be out on the pitch, playing well and scoring goals. That makes me happy. Nowadays, I'm doing that, and I feel very, very happy here. So he loves to be in Manchester City. So he said that, quote, people said about him, he's trying to integrate himself into the whole life around Manchester. He jumps in with 2 feet and immerses himself in everything that goes around. That's what his coach said, including nightclubs, because that's what he likes to do a lot, as we know. He loves to do that shit. He said that he loves it here. He says, I feel very happy because I feel I'm well treated here by the players and the supporters, and the only way I can repay that is by trying to score in every game, which is what I'm trying to do. So he's trying to play hard. So, now, it was also said, quote, when Brazilian football players leave Brazil, it's to improve their family lives. The reason I came to Manchester City was not only for the money. If it was for that, I could have gone to play elsewhere. I had offers from Saudi Arabia and Japan, and I could have earned more money by saying yes to them. But on the last day of the transfer window, Manchester City made that offer to me. It was an offer that was very good for myself and my family, so I accepted. So that's the other thing in soccer. You can play in any league all over the fucking world and make a fortune, which is, you don't have that option if you're an American football player. You wash out of the NFL, you can go to Canada, and that's it.
That's,
Not a lot of other football leagues, and if there are, they don't pay any fucking money.
No.
They don't pay more than the NFL, which...
Baseball's way worse.
Yeah, you go here, you can make a fucking fortune in some of these goddamn, other countries here. He has some problems with a player there that he doesn't like, a guy named Craig Bellamy, who apparently everybody has a problem with this guy,
really?
From what I was reading here. He was asked about it, did you guys have a problem? And he said, quote, I had a fight with him once, but then again, who at City didn't? Some other players had problems with Bellamy too. He was very explosive. In one game we played against Arsenal, I didn't have a great first half, so he started yelling at me in English when we got back into the dressing room at halftime. I didn't understand a word of it, but from the little I could work out, I could tell he wasn't saying nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
If he's anything like his brother Bill, I get it.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, he'll overstay his welcome by like 5 years. Yeah, 7 years. Well, I haven't seen him in 20, so. But after like 94, I think it was about over. So we're saying about 6 years he overstayed that welcome. Yeah, it happens, man. That's awesome. He said Glauber, who I guess is another guy, then helped me by pushing him away, and he quickly calmed down. I had just come back from a marathon of a journey to play for Brazil, and I was feeling very tired. But it was okay, and he came to me the next day and asked me to forgive him. Now, 2009, he appears in a film.
Oh?
He's an actor now.
Our boy Robinho.
Oh, Robinho's going to act.
Okay.
He appears in a Brazilian film called Rota Commando.
Yeah.
Commando with one M.
Oh.
Apparently that's the Portuguese commando. Rota Commando plays a guy named Soldier Martins in it. Now, let's talk about the heavyweights that are in this movie, Jimmy.
Yeah. Is Bill Bellamy in it?
I mean, we all know, all of us, we grew up on the stories and the great characters of Mauricio Bonatti, obviously, and Alex Moriera and Thiago Gustelli.
Yeah.
Guastatelli. Flavio Michi, though, that's my guy. I said, wow, Flavio,
they got Flavio.
They got Flavio in this, dude. That's what I mean. Like, if you're getting Flavio and they offer you a small part, you take it.
Absolutely.
Am I going to be on set with Flavio?
Bit roll, I'm in.
Yeah, Che Moises. Oh my God, they didn't get him. João Miller?
Oh.
No.
Miller.
Conti Lopez? Oh my God. Leandro Perez Bernal?
But this was a big deal.
Fuck. It was a pretty big deal. I think they had sequels and shit. It's pretty interesting. So, Grace. Let's just say Grace.
That's it right there.
Shitloads of money. He got his mom back from a kidnapper. He's a movie star.
He's in the Portuguese Fast and Furious.
Everything's going great. He's the Portuguese Paul Walker. Everything's going fantastic. He's too small to be Vin Diesel.
It's probably Michelle Miller.
Yeah, there you go. Michelle Rodriguez.
Entirely different girl.
Totally different girl. Totally different. So, Grace, because January 14th, 2009, his reputation takes a bit of a hit, let's just say. This takes place at a nightclub in Leeds called Space. That's the name of the nightclub.
It's always one word.
One word means it's going to be douchey.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Right.
So apparently this takes place in the VIP section of this nightclub where most of our troubles take place.
Yeah.
Whenever I say it's late night at a VIP section of a nightclub, you know there's police involvement happening like very soon.
Right.
Very soon here.
There's a lot of cologne in the air. I can already smell it.
Stinks over here. Stinks. So we're past midnight. Packed club, people going off.
Lots of people jumping.
People jumping, all this type of shit.
Sweaty and fucking humid in there.
Yeah, well, apparently he runs across an 18-year-old university freshman there, a young lady, who apparently what ends up happening is Robinho went there for a night out with his teammates, and apparently he kind of went away from his teammates for a while here, and he ends up with this young lady. And police are told that she tells police that he raped her, and she said that she didn't say anything when she left the club that morning, but then the next morning she went to the police and reported it, and had underwent medical testing and forensic stuff and all that sort of thing. Was interviewed on a video, and the whole kind of rape procedure protocol, I should say. So they also checked out the nightclub, which holds up to 800 people. They did a forensic checks on that.
Gross.
Forensic checks on that. If it's a nightclub, I would hope it would have been mopped out when the place was closed anyway. So
it's glowing.
Yeah, it's they also seized closed footage circuit television footage. They don't know if they're going to be able to see anything there, but they got all the videos.
It happened in the club?
In the VIP section.
God.
In the VIP section here.
That is disgusting.
That's the accusation. Now, police want to question him, but they're having a hard time because he took off and went back to Brazil.
Of course he did.
He said that he had to go back to Brazil for, quote, family reasons, so he couldn't talk now. He'll talk to him another time. His family reasons were his 25th birthday party. No time to do a rape inquiry. It's my birthday, so I'm going to have a nice party first. Okay.
I'm 25 on the 25th. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Guys, everybody out there, first things first, okay? You You discuss your impending rape charges, then you go to your birthday party.
Right.
That's how it works.
That's generally it.
Get it out of the way.
Right.
You know? So when he returns, before he talks to the cops, he plays in a soccer game that night.
Yeah.
And this is all a publicly known thing that he's wanted for questioning and all this type of shit. And they're like, yeah, throw him in the game. No problem here. Which is wild. He plays basically the whole game. He gets the team's first goal. And his manager said, quote, Mark Hughes is his name, hair silver as fuck.
Yeah.
He said, quote, he was fully focused and looking ahead to the game. Mentally, he was in the right place. He was concentrating on the job at hand and was never in any real doubt that he should play. Alrighty. He gives them DNA. He's photographed. He's questioned. He says, his spokesman says that he strenuously denies any allegation of wrongdoing. And the police say a man was arrested and questioned in connection with an alleged incident in the Space nightclub in Leeds and has been released on bail. So he's released on bail here. It's an allegation of serious sexual assault and was bailed pending further inquiry, they called it. They wouldn't name who he was, but it was out in the press already who he was. And like we said, he says that he denies any wrongdoing, but is happy to cooperate with police if further required. So, he does any of that. He denies all the wrongdoing. His team, though, Manchester City, what are they going to say to this? Hey, let's take a break and see what happened, maybe, or whatever. He says, no, right away they said they give their full support to Robinho. Full support. Imagine an NFL team with a player with any accusation like that, proof or not or anything.
Nobody's ever said he has our full support.
Never.
No.
They would be like, we're going to wait till all the information comes out before we make any comment. That's what you'd hear. Not, he has our full support. Full. Undying support.
That's horrific.
He is their most expensive player as well, so maybe that has something to do with it. Manchester City said, quote, the club has been liaising with and assisting both the player in question and the authorities in relation to the West Yorkshire investigation. Both parties have given the full support of the football club. No charges of any nature have been brought against the player, which isn't true, and no further statement will be made whilst the investigation is continuing.
God, I love that word.
Whilst.
Yeah,
we don't use that over here.
No.
Yeah, you sound like an asshole if you use it here. Because it's the accent.
Yeah.
Whilst sounds nice and British. If you're like, hey, whilst you're over there, grab me one of that. It sounds like shit, doesn't it?
I hear whilst a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, whilst you're over there, let me ask you something.
Whilst is something.
Are your balls itchy?
Yeah.
So, they arranged for all this, and he strenuously denies everything, but the team is mad at him for something. Not a fucking rape arrest.
What'd he do?
They're mad at him because apparently when he left, he took off and went to Brazil without permission. That's what they're mad at him for from the team. So they wanted him to play.
He's AWOL.
He was AWOL when he went for his birthday party, which he was, running away from police questioning him pretty much.
Right. It's not the birthday. I mean, that happens to coincide, but
yeah. Now, the alleged victim here, they find out some information about her. Apparently, her father was brutally murdered when she was 10 in front of her.
For Christ's sake.
Which is wonderful. And has had, she's...
has some lasting effects.
Has some lasting effects, but she's been a wonderful student, everybody says, and I think she was on scholarship to school that she's at and everything like that. And the girl's mother said, quote, we are going to take this as far as we possibly can. So, very soon after that, the police dropped the matter entirely.
What?
They dropped the matter. They said that they released him. They said a file submitted to the Crown Prosecution Service, who decided that no further action should be taken. And, Robinho's advisor said, I'm pleased to announce that Robinho has been cleared of all allegations of rape. He's maintained his innocence through the police interview process, and I'm delighted that no further action will be taken. Robinho is a hardworking family man who's extremely passionate about football. He now wishes to focus his attention on Manchester City to help create a successful end to the season.
I don't know if I like that or if I hate that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what the proof was. I don't know evidence.
On one side of it, I like the wording of that. It doesn't even say whether or not there was sexual contact or whether it was consensual or whatever. They don't give any explanation.
I like that they didn't call her a whore or something.
There's
That's
none
good.
of that. But on this side of the pond, they'd be like, we've deemed the sex to have been consensual on both sides, which is That's crazy.
Yeah, so now we have no idea what happened, basically.
It's incredible that they keep somebody's personal life private. That's kind of nice for the victim also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. Well, they keep their names very private in Europe, which is
But they
good.
don't say anything about what we have determined was that there was no rape that we can charge.
That's it. That's all.
It's not even that there was no rape.
No.
It's that we can't do anything further. That's all that we're saying.
Yeah, they don't even know. This shouldn't go further. So they might not have the proof. They might not have witnesses. They might not have people back out. They
in
might
America,
have,
there would be way too much explanation to this.
The girl, the young lady could have decided that she didn't want to pursue it anymore.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, because this is a really famous thing, and especially in Manchester City, it's a very fucking big in the media, so I can understand that.
I do like that they're doing it this way, but at the same time I kind of hate it, because what if she was fucking raped? And I'd like to know what's your explanation for letting a maybe rapist go.
Oh, absolutely. Well, one of the explanations could be that he is Manchester City's top goal scorer that year with 14 and the fourth top scorer in the league. So that's probably, I mean, if there is anything shady. Yeah, I mean, he's such a good kicker. Yeah. So if there is anything shitty that's been covered up, I would assume that's why it's covered up right there. So in 2009, he's a member of the Brazil team that won the 2009 Confederations Cup in South Africa. He played in every game in the competition there. They beat the U.S. 3-2 in the final to win the tournament. So 2009, he marries the mother of his son, Vivian Guglielminetti.
Okay.
Whoa, that is a name. Guglielminetti.
Her in Spain?
I know, and she's his childhood sweetheart.
Wow.
As a matter of fact.
That's an Italian from fucking...
Hey, how you doing?
From Peru or wherever the fuck.
Brazil is a shitload of Italians in South America.
It's popular.
I want to say Argentina has the second most number of Italians outside of Italy.
Oh, wow.
More than here, more than anywhere. Yeah, a lot of them.
Makes sense.
Because it's a
lateral
easier
move.
shoot over. Yeah, that's
Catholic,
what happened.
Catholic as fuck.
They were a little more accepting too. So if you couldn't get in up here, maybe you went down there. And
Makes sense.
You never know how people back then. It was hard.
Yeah.
You know what my grandmother told me about the story of how her father got here?
Besides mind your own business.
Besides mind your own fucking business. She told me. This is the story.
I can't believe she told you this. It didn't say, "What about your grandfather? Mind your own fucking business."
Mind your own business. No, she brought this up. She said this was to show that how badly he wanted to come over here. Now they lived in Italy, obviously. There's 10 brothers and sisters, and my great grandfather, her father, would go back and forth to America.
Yeah,
right. That's what he would do. He'd come back and he'd knock the mother up, and then the kid would be named after the boat he took to get over it. I swear to God, my grandmother's real name is Loida because he was on the SS Lloyd, literally. So he named her Loida. That's what happened. So.
All right.
He first got to America to go here back then because they didn't come here till the 40s, but we're talking, early.
I'm not good at history, but that means you
teens.
have a great grandmother, a great aunt named Nina Pinta and
Santa Maria.
Right.
Exactly.
Go on.
So he told the family that him and another guy, they just started rowing, and next thing you know, they were in America.
Okay.
That was his story.
All right.
So, a shady entry of some kind, obviously. They didn't want to tell the legalities of it.
Don't worry about it. We just started rowing.
We, quote, started rowing. Next thing you know...
Next thing you know...
Statue of Liberty. From fucking Abruzzi.
Right. Take you like fucking 2 years.
You couldn't get around Italy the other side, for Christ's sake. You'd have to go around to the west side and over.
We just started rowing, and then we woke up 7 years
Wild.
later.
Said, oh, look at that, Lady Liberty.
We're going to give you're tired, all right?
Yeah.
You're tired as fuck.
Okay, so, very shady. Anyway. We just left, went places.
Hilarious.
Got in everywhere. So, anyway, that's his childhood sweetheart that they have dated since they were in elementary school, literally like that young. They were seeing each other for 12 years here, and they're 25 years old, so that tells you a lot.
Wow.
She was... He said that at the wedding, he was surprised to see all the star-studded collection of people there at the ceremony. He said, quote, "I'm very excited. The party was excited. It was exactly what we dreamed of. Now it's time to drink and celebrate with my friends." Okay. That's when he got married. He made some he always makes his dumb face at the camera where he makes a goofy, sticks his tongue out.
Oh boy.
Bulges his eyes out. He's a goofball.
Jesus.
He's a fucking goofball. It's 2009, 2010. He missed 3 months of the season due to injury. Here, and only played in 12 games that year. So, and also didn't get along again with his coach this year here. Didn't like him, and he got into a fight with that Craig Bellamy guy again.
All right.
So apparently he got into a physical altercation as well there. So due to this, he falls down in the pecking order a little bit of the lineup, and he wants to get out of there.
Yeah.
He wants to. So what they do is in January 2010, they loan him out on a 6-month loan deal back to his home team of Santos.
Really?
So full circle here. So, yeah, he's doing great. He said that, he gets back down there. He returns to Brazil. He's very excited, obviously. Otherwise, except if he gets kidnapped. Other than that, he's going to be very excited. Plays a lot of soccer here. Jesus Christ. What the fuck does that mean? I hate soccer episodes because I love them, and then I got to talk, I try to talk about something about the game,
right,
and I don't know anything. So I wrote something down, understanding it, but then when I read it back to myself, I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Now you know my pain on my list over here.
I can't fucking
Maria. I don't know what this.
At least
says.
the name makes sense. I'm trying to fucking. It's a first and last name. I'm trying to figure out if this is a good or a bad thing. What does this mean?
It's easy for you to say. I struggle every week.
So he said he wanted to remain with Santos rather than return to England, but Manchester City refused to extend the loan deal, and so that was that. And Santos couldn't get him on a permanent basis, so he returned there, but he still wanted to leave. And a bunch of Turkish clubs offered transfer negotiations with Manchester, but Robinho rejected a move to Turkey, declaring he would rather move to a club in Spain or Italy.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Two of the most beautiful places in the world, or Turkey.
Complete piece of shit.
Turkey's actually pretty, though.
Yeah, but it's a mess.
They have some problems in Turkey, let's just say.
It's not great.
It's not as bad as a lot of places, but it's not.
I hear their baths are nice.
It's not perfect. Yeah, they got great beds. Let me tell you something. Terrific. So 2010, Robinho was named in the Brazil squad for the World Cup that year, where he plays there. He scored in the second round match against Chile as Brazil won 3-0 that game, advanced to the quarterfinals there, and they ended up being eliminated anyway. It doesn't matter. 2010 and 2011, he ends up moving to Milan now. Manchester City dumps him off on Milan for a fee of £15 million, 18 million euro, for a 4-year contract.
Right.
So he's doing great here. He makes his debut. He starts in his first game and everything else. His first goal came, I guess, it was in the third game there. He continued. He did well goal scoring here. He was doing pretty well. He scored the first goal for Milan against Sampdoria, but then Gianpaolo Pazizzi equalized on the hour mark to end the draw. Do you know what that means?
It means it was 1-0. Now it ends 1-1.
Exactly.
Right.
I tried to figure that out, and I was like, yeah, that's what that means. So it's easy to figure out. But when you throw those names in there, it really fucks the whole thing up.
Ruins things. What's a Gianpaolo?
Oh, Jesus. Gianpaolo.
Yeah.
Gianpaolo.
I wonder what that is in soccer terms. It's just a guy.
It's a guy. Pazzini.
Right.
So he scores again December 10th. He scores a second goal for Milan against some other team here. He's scoring decent amounts of goals, whatever here. Anyway, April 20th, 2011, he has another son, and unfortunately for him, he can't name him Robson Jr., so he just names him Gianluca instead, which is very Italian, and he's in Italia, and he's there.
Right.
So why not? I know 12 kids back home named Gianluca. So there you go. So that year he had 45 total appearances and 15 goals. Seems good. So in international play here, he played for Brazil and they lost. There you go. So 2011, 2012. You want to know more?
No, we're good.
There you go. He started there, taking part in Milan's win over a couple of people. He did well, scored 11 goals altogether in competitions with Milan in 2011, 2012. Problem is, people are starting to piss and moan about his off-field shit.
Yeah.
Saying he's got an attitude, he's not professional, all he does is fucking party, all he does is have, huge, lavish parties and spends money and acts like an asshole. And
I mean, it's awesome that you're contributing to economy, but Jesus Christ, man.
Calm down. You know what I mean?
Take it down a notch.
Stop making a spectacle of yourself.
Yeah.
But these are Italians telling him that.
Right.
You gotta be pretty fucking ostentatious for a bunch of Italians to go, hey, Fucking take it down a notch.
He had a really up the look at me when you're offending people that created the Lamborghini.
How much jewelry do you have to wear to offend an Italian? You know what I mean? Honestly,
the people that created, I don't know, the douchiest
fucking
car
Ferrari.
on Earth.
That is a rocket. It's pretty cool, but still,
fuck yeah, it's fast as shit. But anybody that drives one, you go, oh, look at this asshole.
Yeah, I can't afford a $300,000 car.
$300,000 2-seater. What the fuck?
Imagine.
There's cheaper ways to tell us you suck.
Right? Tell us you have nothing to do with your money with that. So 2012, 2013, he is close to signing with his old club here, but it falls through because he wants more money than they're willing to pay. So they manage to... Santos reaches an agreement with Milan over the transfer fee, but there's a little sticking point here because also in January of 2013, he's at a Milan nightclub. Oh boy, exactly. Apparently he's at a Milan nightclub. It was him and his wife and some teammates and other friends. All sorts of people went out together to this club.
He's got his wife there.
He's got his wife there. Yeah, he's got his wife there. Jimmie just breathed a sigh of relief.
That's a best case scenario.
Not so fast. So, there's a woman there also who they know. They know this woman. They've seen her before. She's there with two of her friends. And, so that's how that works. Now, this woman who's there, this young lady, says that after her two friends left, Robinho took his wife home. So he said that he figured that was that. She figured, I'll hang out for a while. My friends left. I want to stay. Robinho's gone. Whatever. I'm dancing, doing my thing. Problem is, he took her home and then returned to the club. Which is interesting. Takes her home, comes back to the club, and all of a sudden, she claims that he and his friends started showing her extra attention. He and his other players and other guys, like these are Brazilian nationals that are with him, friends of his. And he didn't say gross because they're Brazilian.
Extra attention.
Timing was the timing. Timing on that.
It's
one.
Everything.
Yeah, he's got other Brazilians. Gross. That's exactly how that went. That's exactly how that sounds.
It's because I'm slow and I registered extra attention
and
while you're still talking.
And I have to be going and catch what you're doing and stop it before it becomes a problem while we're going. I have to be like, and then this happened. Oh, we're going to get in trouble for that. Okay. Someone's going to misinterpret
Slow
that.
down, Whisman.
Hold on.
Or speed it up, Whisman.
Or either one. So... Jesus Christ.
So gross. Go on.
So they're paying her extra attention, and they start offering her multiple drinks. Alcohol here, of course. She says she was forced to drink. She said they were basically forcing her to drink to the point where she became unconscious there. And what she says happened in and out of consciousness was she said that Robinho and a friend raped her as a team.
Oh, my.
And then gave her over to 4 other friends of theirs.
Sweet Jesus.
To do the same with. It's turned into a fucking Hell's Angels party.
In the bar. In the club.
In the club.
Wow.
Yeah, this is in the fucking club in Milan. I get it that, again, it's Italy, and there's a lot of fucking, and, hedonism and shit, but not in the club.
No.
Not in the club. Jesus Christ. And I'll tell you what, don't rape anywhere. How's that?
How about don't do that anywhere?
Let's just not rape anywhere. Start with public and then extend it to the rest of your life. How's that?
Robinho took Mama home to get rid of her. What the shit?
Come back. Said, like I said, he and another man raped her, handed her over, as it was put, to 4 other people who also raped her as well.
Unbelievable.
Also, they said that they repeatedly raped her. This wasn't like a one thing. And in the court documents, they note how witnesses said that they humiliated and abused her verbally, and adding that they laughed through the whole ordeal, demonstrating what the court called an awareness of future impunity.
Unbelievable.
So the Italian authorities do this. They have an investigation, all sorts of witnesses, DNA found on the woman's dress as well in a Lewinsky situation. They concluded that they took her. She made her unconscious, basically, and they took advantage of her and raped her multiple times, is what the police are reporting here. This is she's an Albanian woman. That's what we know about her, but not her name or anything like that. Two of the men have been caught, he and his friend, and then 4 of them are still on the loose. by Italian police. His lawyer here said that, quote, "We clarify that he has already defended himself from these allegations and insist he had no participation in this episode. All legal provisions are being taken here." So
wait,
he's good.
Oh, there's another one?
No. He's saying we talked about it to the police, and so we told them we didn't do it, and he didn't do it, and that's that. Right. Walks out. He's feeling pretty good about himself. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I beat it twice.
Goes back to his house. He's like, tells his wife to make him food, probably, because he's feeling like above the law here. He's like, make me food. Slaps his son.
Yeah.
Get away from me, boy. Like, sends him somewhere else. I'm going to dominate the couch. Just as he's doing that, though, there's a doorbell rings. And he's like, God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't relax in my own house for 5 seconds. He opens the door real arrogantly, just doesn't care, and he's very surprised to see before him, it's the Mexican pimp. Guns blazing. And he says, "How is it you've come to arrive here?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Why? By the way, if you had taken this girl, now let me tell you. If you had talked to this young lady and you said to her, hello, I would like to sell you for the sexual pleasure of men. And you tell her how good this life would be for her. And then she says, please sell me to all the men that you can. That is how you operate. You don't take the pussy. You talk the pussy over to you. That is being a pimp. You, sir, are nothing but an animal. And I am very disappointed. I do not like you anymore. I will go now. I am disgusted to be in your presence. Goodbye." Poof. And he disappears.
Unbelievable.
In a cloud of tequila, bullets, and everything else. Robinho's very confused. Very confused.
The verbal, the explanation of what a pimp is vile.
That's what it was. And even that's so much better than what he did. That's how gross it is. It's a sliding scale of gross. It's all relative here.
It really is.
So, it's...
As much as you hate James Woods in Casino, that's so much worse.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yes, that's what I mean. So, 27, unless you hate James Woods at all.
In person.
So, Casino.
On Family Guy.
Family Guy, and that fucking Michael J. Fox movie where he plays a cop for fucking The Hard Way. So 27 total appearances this year, 2 goals. But let's face it, the main problem is the rape charge. Right. That's the main issue here.
Problem.
Yeah, 2013, 2014, this is still going on. Wait till you see how long this goes on for. This happened in 2013, mind you. So he suffers a groin injury in the preseason here, which is fitting.
Wouldn't it be great?
That's good. He should have a groin injury. Right. I hope somebody punched him in it. That's
what
it
was kicked.
Yeah, right there. Before he suffered that, he missed a penalty shot, but then scored a goal and then hurt himself. So there's that. So, and he goes back to Santos again in 2014, and he arrives there on a new loan. And down there, they don't mind him at all. Yeah. They don't care what he does in Italy. So he's paying, Jesus Christ, $600,000 a month. And then Milan will pay him $400,000 a month.
He's making $1 million a month.
That's insanity. I don't know how the fuck that.
That's $12 million a year.
That's okay. Wow. I don't even know what to say about this.
Fuck.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. So he scores his first goal in his return after in his first game back here, and the team wins 2-0. Scores a second goal a couple days later. He's on a roll there. Who gives a shit? Anyway, he ends up in 2015 going to China to play for Jiangsu Evergrande.
Oh.
That's who he plays for.
You got Spanish places out there?
I don't know. Evergrande? It's got an E on the end. I don't fucking know. In Arizona, that's grande.
Yeah, sure the fuck is.
At Taco Bell, that's grande.
It's a big taco.
It's a big taco. So fucking, let me get a grande and churrito, please, as we said before. So he signs a 6-month contract here. It's the Chinese Super League.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Super fireworks.
Super happy, terrific. Number 1 goal scoring league.
Fireworks league.
Fireworks, sparkler, excitement league. and dry cleaning and this and that and this. Because that's what I like about if you find like a Chinese run business, like if you go to Milwaukee, there's all of those, or not Milwaukee, Minneapolis. Right. There's all these businesses with names like that, and they do like 8 things. Right. It's like they have a dry cleaner and they have a shop in the back and like a grocery and a thing. And I'm like, this motherfucker found every niche that people are asking about, and he's like, I got it all. Right. It's fucking brilliant. I'm impressed.
It's like a Long John Silver / Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Like, wow,
why do you want those together?
If I want to have diarrhea from either thing, I'm covered. If I want to eat old fish or if I want to eat fucking terrible pizza.
That's the beauty of that place. The chicken and the fish taste the same.
It's the same shit. Just deep fry it, man, in the same oil. So who cares? Jesus Christ. So he plays here, like we said. He wins. They won the Chinese Super League season, his team, I guess. He had 3 goals and 11 appearances. Mm-hmm. He also owned a club while he was over there, like a nightclub. A Chinese nightclub.
Not a soccer club.
No, a nightclub.
Oh,
so someone asked him, what's the music like in China? And he said, it was very cool at my club. I put samba songs on in the dressing room, and they all used to listen to them and enjoy them. But dancing, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So Chinese people can't dance is what he was saying. But I mean, he's Brazilian, so compared to Brazilians, really nobody can dance.
It's true.
Let's be honest here. They're kind of
those hips move a different way.
It's ground zero for dancing down there. It really is.
So good.
They're working that shit. So he becomes a free agent at that point. February 2016, he signs a 2-year contract with Atlético Mineiro. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I think it's in Brazil. Yeah, it's in Brazil. So he does that. While he's there, he 2016 in April, he's hit by a lighter that somebody threw from the upper deck of the stands.
Like a bic?
Like a fucking bic. Somebody whizzed a bic at him and hit him. Apparently it hurt him pretty good, because a bic from a distance will get you.
That'll hurt.
That hurts. Apparently a man tried to take a corner kick here under heavy police protection, because some people don't like him because he's got rape charges. Yeah. That happens. Right. And then a lighter somehow got through all the cops and everything and hit him in the shoulder while he was doing it.
The guy that threw it was like, can you fucking believe that?
Score!
I hit him. I got him. High five.
Right? We don't even throw shit over here. He kicked it at him, probably. That's what he did. Just drop kicked it. Pow! There it is. So he said he had no interest in delaying the match. And, the official said that he wouldn't stop or delay the match. And Robinho even picked the lighter up and showed it to him. And they said, yeah, tough shit, kick the ball, you fucking rapist. So, the incident took place with the score 0-0. And that's what happened there. Now, he scores 25 goals in 55 appearances that year. He's selected for the Brazil team of everything and all this shit, and he won a bunch of awards. That doesn't matter, because in 2017 he does even more. He has 13 goals and 54 attempts, but he leaves the club when his contract expires in December of 2017. He scored 38 goals in 109 matches for Santos. Problem is, November 23rd, 2017 is court. This is for sexual assault.
Back in Milan.
This is back in Milan. Mm-hmm. Thing is, he doesn't show. He stays in Brazil.
Show up for rape charges.
Him and all the co-defendants are tried in absentia, which, I mean, that's fine. People do that here, too. They try people in absentia here. Yeah. It's not great because you can't really mount a defense if you are not there. But from his point of view, he doesn't want to be there and be taken to jail. Right. So he's going to hide in South America. As we'll talk about, he can do that. Now, the court documents, the whole court proceeding is basically, they said everything that fucking happened. Mm-hmm. This young lady said what happened. All sorts of witnesses. There's DNA DNA evidence. There's all sorts of shit going on. He and all of his co-defendants are all found guilty. All found guilty of rape.
Yeah.
So all of them here. He is found guilty, which is fucking wild here. Now, his lawyer says that the incident occurred some years ago. He's already defended himself, and this is bullshit, is what his lawyer says. Which,
I mean, we just
doesn't matter how long
to defend himself, and he didn't even show up.
That's what I'm saying. Not to mention, it happened a long time ago. Yeah, great. It happened 4 years ago.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, not at all.
Case hasn't gone through. That's not
Fuck
defending
no.
yourself.
That's rape. That shit lasts a while. Yeah. A 6-month statute of limitations or anything on that. That's the statute will go a long time on that one. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, that feels completely illegitimate. What if you're the young lady here? They can't even get these people in court.
Right.
That would fucking suck. The whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I really do. I do, honestly, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Robson D'Souza, who is a mechanical engineering designer at Vibra Systems, Inc. in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Robson D'Souza, which is a Sao Paulo opticians company.
Oh, no.
And, I don't think they have 4 employees, and they claimed $75,000 in income last year on this site thing. So I feel like their name is hindering them.
Yes.
Possibly.
Slowing them down a little bit.
Robson D'Souza, a professional boxer from Brazil who was a featherweight, only fought 1 fight back in 2001 and lost. An 0-1 career fighter. Now, and a more successful guy, Alexandra de Jesus, who is a Brazilian MMA legend who are fighting, I don't know if it's MMA or some shit, jiu-jitsu legend, also known as what? Robinho. That is his nickname. Yes, lots of people there, so he gets confused. Also, another guy, Francisco Wellington Barbosa de Lisboa, who was born a year after he's born in 1995, known as Robinho, from Brazil, and he plays for the Orlando City in the Major League Soccer League there. So he's a winger. So every time
Change your name, man.
He's small. Yeah. He's like a similar type. It's funny as shit. I thought it was him, and I'm like, did we fucking sign him here? That's crazy.
Did we bring a rapist to America?
We usually don't let foreign rapists. It's rare. So sentencing comes around, and I'm sure the Italian judge said, "You scumbag.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
How dare you?
How dare you come in this country and you are raping the girls? Why you do that, huh?" That's my grandmother came in there. She said, mother rape. Why? Why you rape? It's fucking ridiculous. So anyway, gives him a big, long speech, and sentencing comes around. You, sir, may fuck off 9 years in prison.
Did they get him?
9 years in prison. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
9 years for him and for the other gentleman as well. They all get 9 years. Now, they also ordered that the victim receive 60,000 euros compensation as well for suffering. Yeah, it's like $80,000. Another guy in the group, Ricardo Falco, that's the only guy whose name we have on the group otherwise. Now, under Italian law, sentencing is not enforced until after the appeals process is complete.
Wow.
It's not like here where you sit and then appeal. Yeah. There, you appeal and you're out while you appeal. And then if you lose your appeals, then you go to prison, which honestly seems more like what an appeal is.
Yeah.
When you put someone away and they're already in prison, it's not really an appeal at that point.
Because you can't really get that time back is the thing.
Well, yeah, and you can't like help with your appeal because that's why it's set up.
But if you win when you're on appeal, then you just get out and now you've served all this time.
Yeah.
But if you lose, then you get that time credited, so that's nice.
That's something. He gets 2 appeals, by the way. So you get 2 appeals. It's not like 45 appeals. You get 2 appeals, and then your sentencing is going to be enforced. Problem is, under the time of the sentencing, and still now, Robinho is a Brazilian citizen in Brazil under Brazilian law. And according to Brazilian law, a Brazilian citizen cannot be extradited to a foreign country for any reason, including to serve a rape fucking...
For nothing.
For nothing.
Not even murder.
Nothing. No Brazilian citizen can be extradited to a foreign country. It's their law that they will not do that.
Rape charges hang around longer than Bill Bellamy.
That's the thing, and we know what he does.
Stay in Brazil.
That's the shit here. So yeah, basically with the appeals and everything to be filed on all this shit, the appeals could drag out to late 2022.
Jesus.
So that could be the end of when they actually want him to serve, and then he could still be in Brazil and not do shit. So that's how it works. His legal team put out an Instagram post afterwards and said, quote, regarding the news involving Robinho and in an incident that occurred several years ago. It's fucking crazy.
An incident. That's a nice way of saying rape.
He then said that he did not participate in the episode. Yeah.
Those are a lot of letters.
That's a lot of shit.
Way too many letters for a 4-letter word.
I don't see rape in there anywhere. Now they ask Robinho, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm deciding on what team to play for. He's like, that's my only problem. Where do I play? I mean, Jesus Christ. He's not under fear of extradition now because, like we said, the, rape charges or whatever. But if they feel like you're going to flee, they can arrest you if you're in Italy, so it's complicated. He says about what team he's going to play for. Honestly, I haven't made up my mind. Geez, that sucks.
Find out the extradition laws in each of these places.
No, that's what it is, basically. Yeah. First, I'm going to turn off the telephone and have a break. I want to rest with my family because the holiday period is short.
Gross.
Good for you, asshole. Yeah, disgusting. In 2018, he goes and signs with a Turkish club. People sign him to a contract. I'm going to sign a convicted rapist.
What the fuck?
Wild. Sivasspor signs him. That's a Brazilian club in Super League. Or not Brazilian, a Turkish club in Super League here. 4 goals and 14 appearances there. The next year for them, he does 8 goals and 16 appearances. Then he goes to play for Istanbul Basaksehir there. So, there's that. He does that there.
Ridiculous.
The problem is, in September of 2019, his team, Istanbul Basaksehir, is scheduled to play Roma.
Oh,
that's a problem. That's in Italy.
That's in Italy.
Yeah. The club is worried that he's going to be arrested at the airport when he lands in fucking Italy. So he's been left off the squad. They left him behind to say, you don't need to come here.
How could they?
What if you get arrested? Yeah. So, his conviction, who knows, could be overturned or could be whatever, but he actually could be arrested entering the country because he's said he's not going to be there, didn't show up for court. They're looking for him, basically.
How amazing would it be if an Italian team bought, or it's like some amazing Italian person
bought him for a shitload of money.
Whatever team he's playing for, and just moves him to Italy.
Moves him to Italy.
Against his will.
What are you going to do now?
You will play for us.
Well, you have no money. Like a really ridiculous salary and everything, and then just cancel it out and arrest him.
Some amazing guy, just
fucking
buy him.
Dipshit. What a dick. So August 7th, 2020, he is released by his Turkish team.
Oh!
They released him.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yep, it just happened. They do describe him as, quote, an exemplary athlete and humble when they describe him.
Fuck you.
And with an aggressive penis, I hear, so they left that part off. So they asked, there was a question, what will you do when you retire? Will you become a coach one day? And he says, quote, I don't think about that much. Maybe I'll become an agent or I'll work with young footballers in academies. I want to help footballers the same way that I was helped in my career. Away from football, I'd like to be a musician, especially a samba one. I like to play the pandeiro and the cavaquinho. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I think those are Spanish words for penis and vagina.
I like to play with other men's penises in the vagina. So, can't get enough.
Oh my God, we've had plenty
of this asshole. Well, you can read his book.
Yeah.
Robinho, King of the City, came out in October 2009 after his first rape allegation. So, it's Peter Smith is the author. You can get it for $2.98. £2.98 right now in Britain there, and there you go. What is it? It's a hardcover. It's got 4.5 stars on the ratings out of 4 ratings. So people must like it. Or there's all jerseys and all that shit. Or if you see him, call him a rapist. Yeah. There you go. That's how you can. If you see him, go, hey, rapist.
Yeah.
Keep your dick in your pants, rape boy.
You've got no in your name. It's
ho.
No.
And he's got ho too. So I think he took both of them not seriously enough.
I hate him.
He's a dickhead, yeah.
What a scumbag,
and he's just happy as can be, and he says he is not going to jail. He's avoiding jail.
Wow.
If his appeals don't work, he's just not going to go to Italy anymore. That's all. He's just going to stay in Brazil and not be extradited.
I hope he catches COVID.
Maybe he will. You know what? If he fucking deserves it. He deserves. But this guy's a dick. He'll probably spread it to 100 other fucking people. That's the thing. He's not going to stay home
against their will.
Against their will. He's going to get them drunk and fucking cough on them. Yeah, fucking disgusting.
What an asshole!
What a dick!
Ugh.
So that is Robinho, the Brazilian soccer star, and that was an episode that I didn't know he existed. And I saw some things on him, and I'm like, hey.
You know, Brazil, when you guys create a criminal athlete, you really go above and beyond. That's too much.
You do. You guys.
That's the second one that's like, what?
They're few and far between, but when it happens, you're like, Jesus.
And then they keep playing after the horrible
That's
shit.
what's crazy.
Golly.
I mean, fucking Ray Rice, and rightfully so, or whatever, punched a woman in the face. That is all that we know that he's ever done. Never played again. We're not saying that's wrong, but we're saying this guy has a rape conviction, and teams are signing him left and fucking right. Going, what, are you going to coach next year?
Right.
How about, are you going to go to prison for rape? What's up with that? Don't you feel any fucking, like, anything for that.
The other point is he's so young, he could serve his time, get out and go on with his life.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Just pay your debt to society.
He's 36 right now.
Don't be a piece of shit anymore.
Yep. Well, he's going to not be a piece of shit.
You only got 9
in Brazil.
years, for Christ's sake. You don't get that in America.
No. For an aggravated gang rape, you'd get more, because they kept calling it a gang rape because it was.
You might get 25 for that.
You're probably going to get some good time for a gang rape in a.
You got a great deal in Italy.
In a nightclub.
Count yourself lucky.
No shit. That's what I mean. And you didn't even make a deal. That's what they gave you.
Wow.
That's fucking wild. So that, everybody, is Robinho. And if you enjoyed that story, there's a way to tell us. Yeah. It's to get on the Apple Podcast, that purple icon, give us 5 stars. It helps them tremendously, and we don't know why. Yeah. But it helps drive us up the charts, which helps other people see us and helps the show become more popular, and that's good for everybody. Right. So do that, and we thank you and appreciate that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com today, right now, in a few minutes. Yeah. I don't know. We're done with this show. When you're done listening to all the shout-outs, do that. So head over there right now for everything small town murder and crime and sports. New merchandise, tickets to live shows that are being spread all over 2021. Yeah. We are going to be busy people in 2021. Right. Check that out. Check out P.S. I Hate This Movie, for which we talked about Splash this week, and you can kind of hear a piece of that, or hear one of the subjects when Jimmie and I discussed it beforehand, and me and Sarah had the same questions, and we were like, what the fuck is happening? Got into it in good detail. Why Tom Hanks is a merman. Okay, sure. In the Hudson. Beautiful coral.
In that muddy shit.
Beautiful. There was like bright yellow fish. If they weren't radioactive, I'd say, okay, but Jesus Christ.
So wild.
So check out that P.S. I Hate This Movie also on Fridays, and also everything else. You want to follow us on social media? Mm-hmm. That's a good thing to do. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram there. Also, you can leave us a voicemail as well. Yeah. If you want to leave voicemails, we listen to those. We'll read them sometimes on the bonus episodes and stuff like that. Voicemail is 602-759-0606. We get some weird ones, so don't be embarrassed, because you're not as drunk as some people. We'll put it that way.
Just don't go too far.
Some people will say a lot of things and then be like, I'm really drunk, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm like, whoa.
Also, we knew.
Yeah. That person is slurring drunk, and it's 2 p.m. This is not good. So you can do all of that stuff. And if you want to be a producer of the show and a goddamn hero of ours, personally, you can do that very easily. And you're going to get stuff for this, of course. You're going to get bonus content, so much bonus content. Jimmie's going to mispronounce your name at the end of the show. And your bonus content we do every other week for each show. And that one $5 contribution to Patreon, that will get you bonus content for both shows.
Right.
So that's pretty exciting. Last week, or the ones that are up right now, is the Minnesota Vikings love boat scandal for Crime and Sports. And then for Small Town Murder, we did a thing on all the women who've been executed since the reinstatement of the death penalty in 1977.
It is fascinating.
It's fucking wild. So yeah, that's a really trippy one. Check that out. And speaking of women, we have a woman athlete coming up here in a couple weeks.
Right.
Which is fun. We get excited for those.
Miss Hope Solo.
Ah, there you go. But someone who gets their own episode. And that said, too, you can do all of this and be a producer very easily over at patreon.com/crimeandsports, or PayPal if you want to just have Jimmie mispronounce your name and be a hell of a good person with some good karma.
Yeah.
You can do that at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. That's also a good way to get a hold of the show right there.
Yes.
That said, Jimmie, I think I need to hear, right after that filth, I think I need the names of the people who make us feel good, who would never, ever, ever pass us back and forth in the back room of a nightclub. Jimmie, hit me with those people now.
This week's executive producers are Kelly Loff. I think that's an L. It might be Roth. I am an awful person. Jeez.
Name one.
Starting out, right out of the gate.
Quickly, before you go, now that you screwed one name up, before we get any further into the name screwing up, I have to congratulate Kevin and Corey.
Yeah.
Kevin is Sarah's cousin, and good friends of ours. We like them a lot. So Kevin and Corey got engaged.
Oh, boy.
And they're getting married. So congratulations,
Good
guys.
for you.
Yeah.
Well, the other ones this week, executive producers are Ross Rochester, Shannon... oh, my God. Gammon? Yes. Shannon Gammon. Got it. Taylor Hahn, J.C. Hansen, Tim Haley, Media Maven, and she sent a nice note. Thank you very much. Cindy O'Brien, Saquon Barkley, Deborah Durnall, Amanda Richards, Ben Bronson, Brunson. Christy Chauvin? Shove in? It's spelled like shove in. It's not.
Shove in.
It's probably Chauvin or Chauvin.
Yeah.
Joanna Ahern. It's actually Joanne Ahern. Sherry Paulist. Linda Campbell. Chrissy Ann Castaldi. She's been with
Chrissy.
us for 3 years.
Chrissy.
She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart. Thank you, Chrissy. Ann Pagano, Jackie Sukup, Jordan Bennett, and Carol Braun. The last 4 there are just people that have been around for so long. Thank you guys so much for everything you do, truly.
You guys are the best.
Other producers this week are Elizabeth Rose Reagan White. Happy birthday for Senorita Melanie.
Hey.
I doubt that's her first name.
Senorita.
Right. And then we also have, what am I doing, man? Ekaterini, Arsenellis. That can't be right. Mason.
I mean,
Mason Wicks, Nick Simmons, Jericho Nightshade, John Allen, Jonah McNeil,
Jericho Nightshade.
Yeah,
that's the coolest name ever.
I'm sure he's a wrestler, right?
Yeah,
He's got to
be.
Maddie with no last name. Paul Lipman, Kipwin, Kierwin. That's what it is. Ali Vandegrift, Leah with no last name. Rachel Wargaki. I gotta fucking take a penmanship class. Allison Diem, Edward Cruz, it's Brian. Bustard or Bustard? Bastard? It's Bustard, right? Wesley with no last name. Kyle Anderson, Deborah Bryant, Melissa Lee, Kyle Anderson, Christy Solisinski, Hunter Hensler, Gabby Ward? No, Gordon. Damn it. Amina Sali. I think Amina Sasali. It's 2 S's, man. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Erica Schaefer, Emily Fitzsimmons, Lynn Gross, Tristan Sibley, Luke Ninneman, Samuel Caldwell, Greg Yor, Melissa Powell. Fuck. Garrett Woodbury, Cricket Hilliard, Marlise Sage, I think. Fuck. Renee Swelling, Aaron Benja. Brianne Liga, damn it, Amanda. So she's obviously from Australia.
That's Aussie named Amanda.
Clearly, right. Jacob Andrew Galloway, Foxy Beaver. Oh boy. Patrick Matu, Amanda Nicole Lewis, Cody McCaskill, Alexis Wortham, Marsha Peterson, Brianne Poland, Crifix Juxie. Cryfix? I don't know. Brooke with no last name. Jeremy Christensen. Stephen Petrikis. Pickle Bean. Catherine Kuykendall. Rebecca Martin. Megan H. Or is that an N? I think it's an N. I gotta get it together. Riley what the fuck? Makietsky? No. Laura Riley, Beth with no last name, Cassie Harris, Sean Powell, Christina Peterson, Jeffrey Tellis, Aurora Santangelo, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Carrie Stupp, Johnny, I know, it's, you know, Joni and Max Price, Robert Esparza, Joe Evans, and Andre Brown, Murray McCartney, Kay Steinhilber, Madison Grant, Mark Cordio. Chris Moffitt, Brandon Fedor, Jamie McKay, Don Bottoms, Daniel Ranweiler, Christopher and Jade Hughes, Kate Hauk, Julie Garcia. What is this? All right, already. I'll watch The fucking Wire. There you go. Miller Maggio, Tom Saldi, Sam Harvey. What is that? Kelly King. Yeah, no. Carly with no last name. Angela McCormick, Amy Soifer, Alexandra Brown, Greg Fredrickson, Janet Jacob, David Tiller.
There you go.
Candace Gordons, Heather Thomas, Zen Wren, Beverly Henkel, Bethany Armour, Julie Peltier, sorry, Julie, James Welch, Thomas Fine, or Rhine, or 9. John Allen, Josh Lamaster, Rakiv Lewis, Angela with no last name, Neil Link, Gavin Musfeld, Amanda Gray, Krista Ramirez, she's in Texas, thank you, Krista.
Thank you.
Laura Hawkins, Casey Vandervorst, Andrew Kowalski, Louisa Johnson. Nope, that's Lisa Johnson. I'm so dumb. Evan Sirik, Dre Ensor, Austin Koenig, Shannon McCune, Sean Thompson, Tia Fish, Gary Howard. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate you. Heather Huey. Heather, thank you. Tammy Hackett, Bonnie with no last name. Kaylee Spikes, Caitlin Coleman, DM King of Beans, Cody Lowe's, Aaron Reed, Lisa Dudgeon, Emily Franz, Kimberly Nichols, William Anderson, C.W., Brandon, she of Elbean? Nope.
Sure.
Adnerb, August with no last name, Brenda Hall, Kathy Matus, Atreyu, Kaylee O'Hara, Carly Hornack, Shayna Gallahorn. No, probably. Tyrell Hodges, Julia Jazinska, Jimmy Valencia, Ryan Snyder, Catherine Bruzoni, I think. I'm sorry. Kelly Gillespie. She's also an artist in L.A., and she is fucking fantastic. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Holly Moquin White, Steve Darabas. Rachel Tish, Hugh Atkinson, Viviana Hernandez, Miranda Levitt Pino. Sorry.
He's so bad at Italian.
Cody Panzai, maybe it's Italian also.
Yeah, that could be anything.
Tim Solomonson, Dory Lyons, Amanda Hidden, Eli Gowell, Isabella, Travis Shatima, Mike Smith, William Cordell, Max Hobbs, Antonio Nicholson, Brent McCollum, Matt Johnson, Ayla Heffernan, Will Chow, I think, Brandon Wilson, Rachel Sincere, Stephanie W., Joe with no last name, Michael DiStefano. Nailed it. Fucking
Jimmie. That was good.
Serena Garcia, Julia Schuster, Victoria Walters, Elizabeth Deegan, Meredith Martin, Daniel McGowan, The Pollinator. I forget what I don't remember where that was from.
Some episode.
So good. Pause to Play. Nicholas with no last name. Molly McDermott, Keegan. What did I do? Retchinger. I don't know if that's an R or a K. I apologize. Alicia Coletta, Elizabeth Parker Stafford, Sophie Schmidaver. I don't know if it's a U or a V. Pickles with no last name. John Penrod Jr., Richard with no last name. Amber Everhart, Samantha Graybill, Tyler Bing, 1996. Jack McGee, Holly Levinson, Megan Eberhard, Heather, Stout, I think. Kurt Neeram. Is there a Kurt Neeram that's famous? Why do I know that name? No? I don't know. Yvonne Wright, Court Seal, Jewel Jones. Jewel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
She's down in North Carolina, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Emily the Strange, Don Hatch, Katie with no last name, Rashid Bibbs. Oh, it's just Bib. One Bib. Zach Taylor, Amanda.
Singular Bib.
Amanda Monell, Libzilla, Gabrielle Orelli, Casey Trentman, Tiffany Capozzi. All right. This is getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
Italian, sign up for Patreon. It's hilarious.
Capozzi. Amanda with no last name. Josh Guido. That's easy enough, but that's because it's a slur. Sean Meyer, Kimberly Blevins, and Drake. Thank you both. Carly Miller, Celine, Izzy Berthsow. Kyle Shute, Marcus Longo, Marcos Mora, Clarence Tudor, Charisma with no last name, Adam Gray, Todd Horst Cochran. You know what he's saying.
I do.
I don't believe him. Min Lil McGee, Patrick Corey, Matt with no last name, Simone Stridham, John Doe, nope. Felicia Harrison, Three Bugs Mom, Isaiah Swift, Alexika Allen, what? Jamie McDermott, Sean Mosley, Steve with no last name, Stacy Lockett, Injoli Pettis. I know her from somewhere, or he. Fuck. It's probably she, right?
Yeah,
Mary
I don't know, you know them. Why don't you tell me what gender they are?
I know that person, I swear. Mary Breedlove, Matt Glennon, Jenny Mosier, Joseph DeMarcy. I'm sorry. Benjamin Rickett, Sarah with no last name, Monica Shute, Debbie Sushwan, Amanda Press, Robin in Seattle, happy birthday, Chad Haas, Cynthia with no last name, Alicia Rains, Justin Lee, Riley Kyle Dignan, Erica Fardown,
Something like that.
Riley Foster, Kelly Moyer, Patrick Matu, Max Hobbs, David Albert, Holly Hoffman, happy birthday, and Lindsay Lowe, thank you very much. Doreen Cruz, Macy Messinio, Sarah Lasher, Chastity Irwin, Justin Perry, Jorge Torres, Eric Castillo, Cindy Wilkin, Shay with no last name, Michelle Turner, Allison Bailey, Aaron Tate, Kelly Kunecki Martz, probably not. Leanne Bogie, William with no last name, Denise Simon, Diago Santori, Thomas Smith, Timothy Heath, Jolene Flath, Carly Mann, Craig Riley, Zach Altimus, Nikki Lundquist, Ashley Vio, Brendan Abels, Liz Vasquez, Erica Langdon.
We know all these people.
We do. Zoe McGeechan, Gerald with no last name. Happy birthday, Jackie, the meteorologist.
Cool.
Otherwise known as a liar. Peyton Meadows, Amanda Lipinski, Andrew Gauchi, James Martyr, Halls Fowler TV, Vincent Strauss, Tiana Royer, Tracy Poets, Emily Tincher, Greg Voda, Tom Locke, Mandy Knight, Eric Castillo said that, Janice Hill, Katarzyna Nianzolka, she got me again because she knows her name's a fucking nightmare, Chris Foy, Matthew Yechow, Emily Taylor, Brian Crosby, and Samantha Summerlin. You guys come through every week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, that before the shout-outs, I said people who would never. There's people that would.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They would, yeah, just to be awful. Yeah, I'm sure they would. So I take that back.
All over the place.
Some of them would probably.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys, for everything you do for us. You guys are the fucking best, and you are the base of the show. You're why we do the show. For you guys, honestly, it's crime and sports is not a giant moneymaker for us. No. It's, Small Town Murder is better that way. Crime and sports is, we do it for you guys. That's it. I mean, we love the show and we do it because you guys love it and you guys support it on Patreon.
Right.
And so, God damn it, we'll keep doing it, man. Yeah. We have a lot left to do.
Yeah.
With that said, I think with all of that good stuff said, live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.